And your North Oconee Titans. Tonight, I'm joined by my partner, Hadley Brown, and my name is Tyler Donaldson. For the scene, the crowd is a little bit light tonight. We have the home crowd is halfway full. Oh, I'm a little. Okay. And tonight, for North Oconee, they're representing Region 8-4A, and Clarke Central is representing Region 8-5A. The Clarke Central Gladiators are coming to the game 1-2, and North Oconee is coming into the game 0-3. Hadley, how are some of the reasons that these teams have struggled so far this year?
Definitely, North Oconee lacks size and strength on the field. They're a very young team, and they're a very young team, and they're really focused on. Coach Tooley mentioned beginning of the season they're going to be really focused on finessing and passing the ball. But before the game, we talked to him, and he mentioned that they really need to focus on their running game as opposed to their passing game. Clearly, they're trying to make a few changes to see if they can get past this 3-game losing streak they've been on.
Okay. And the coaches for tonight's game, coaching for Clarke Central, you have the old University of Georgia baseball coach, Dave Perno, and for North Oconee, the long-tenured coach, Coach Tooley. Okay. Okay. And tonight for the game, Hadley, what are some of the key players for both sides?
Definitely on North Oconee's roster, we have Jermaine Browner to look at. He has scored every touchdown they've made this season, only 3, but he has been the sole scorer. So he's a running back, number 6, who we've really been focused on. He's a junior this year, and he has definitely showed out for North Oconee during this season thus far.
Okay, and the stadium's starting to fill up a little bit more as the night goes on. You see the band out tonight for North Oconee has been in full. You can see that the chants are starting tonight on what's going to be a beautiful night for Friday night high school football. And for the home team, what are the key players? Where did you talk about them?
We're really going to be looking at Jack Mangle tonight. He is the quarterback, the junior quarterback. He is a player that used to play with a lot of the North Oconee teammates. He was with them from K through 8th grade, so he's definitely going to be on the opposite side of the field that he's used to being at this game. North Oconee and Clarke Central have not played since 2013 in a scrimmage, so this is a little bit of a different angle, especially with Jack Mangle playing on the opposite team he's used to playing on.
And for Clarke Central, the main star of the night, Zay Brown, how is he supposed to factor into tonight's game?
He's definitely going to be looked at a lot. He is the 3-star commit to the University of South Carolina. The one win that Clarke Central did have against Winder Barrow, he made a critical pick-6 play that really just turned the pace of the game around back then.
Absolutely. Coming to tonight's game, both teams have struggled a little bit on the field. As I mentioned before, Clarke Central coming to the game 1-2. They're tied for 4th place in Region 8-5A with Walnut Grove and Flowery Branch High School. On the other side, North Oconee comes into the game 0-3. We talked to Coach Tooley before the game. Hadley, what was a little bit about Coach Tooley talking about the struggles before the game? Did he have any comments to you?
Coach Tooley definitely was focused on the running game that they were going to play. He said they need to run the ball, really focus defense double coverage-wise, because you have seen a big passing play for Clarke Central, and Terry Tooley really understood that and has really been focusing on that. He made a comment that they really need to focus on limiting team mistakes and penalties, because he said that a lot of times the team will beat itself, and the fact that they really need to be focused on watching the penalties and just not making mistakes as a team and really working together as a team. He wanted them to forget that they were 0-3, because he said that mindset going on the field is definitely something that's going to hinder you.
Okay, and another small anecdote, tonight's a significant night for Clarke Central in particular because it's homecoming night here for Clarke Central High School. And as important to win on Clarke Central night, there's a lot of school pride going into that. Hadley, what are some of the keys of the game for Clarke Central tonight going up against North Oconee?
Clarke Central is really going to have to focus on using the talent they do have. They have a few standout players. We mentioned Zay Brown. We mentioned Jack Mangle. Really players that have really been definitely standouts for the season. They haven't had the best season, but if they really focus on they really just stay focused on their strengths and making sure Jack Mangle is hitting Reggie Smothers. He's been his favorite target thus far this season, and he's really made some key passes and some key completions that they really need to keep focusing on. For North Oconee, they're also going to be focusing on just defense a lot. They have scored a lot of they have had a lot of points scored against their defense. Last game it was Cedar Shoals 40-7. Clearly their defense was struggling with holding back the running team and holding back the passing team. So we're hoping this time that we can really see both teams show out and really give their best game.
Right, and I believe the stat was that North Oconee is starting 7 sophomores on defense tonight. That's quite a young team and quite the rebuilding process for head coach, Coach Tooley. I'm sure that they're going to want to be getting the ball to the running back, Jermaine Browner. You said something about him scoring all 3 touchdowns for North Oconee so far this year?
Yes, 3 touchdowns total. They've only scored 1 per game, but Jermaine Browner has been the lone scorer of those games, so along with their kicker, John Bowler.
All right, so look for Coach Tooley to get the ball into their spark plugs' hands, and Browner if they want any chance at dethroning Clarke Central tonight. Just a little bit more to talk about Clarke Central. They have a new football coach this year, Dave Perno. Hadley, do you have anything about the background on Coach Perno?
Well, Perno is definitely an all-star here in Athens. He was a Georgia baseball coach for a while. He just was dismissed in 2013, and this is his debut season. He came on Clarke Central's radar December 10th, 2015, and he really has been trying to build up since then. He went from baseball to football, as you know, so he definitely, earlier on in the season, he made the statement that it's really just about getting the young people to work together and compete in a game, no matter the sport. So I'm really excited to see what he's done with the team this far.
And here comes the home team, the Clarke Central Gladiators, coming down the stairs, getting ready to take the field against the North Oconee Titans. Tonight being homecoming, surely they have to be amped up, have kind of a not as tough of a game against North Oconee. You talked to Coach Tooley before the game. He said that at least they won the uniform battle, just to show a little bit about the stature that team is in this season and the rebuilding process. How important is it to get these young guys to play, Hadley?
I think it is, and I think North Oconee understands that this is not going to be the year where they make it to the championship, but I think they do understand that this year is crucial in the fact that this is a very big year for growing and a really big year for leaders to step up on the team and for the coach to really bring the team together.
Absolutely, and we see the captains getting ready to take midfield.
Number 11 right there, that's Zach Mangle. We've talked about him a lot, the starting quarterback. He's played with a lot of the Central players. That was the wrong team.
For North Oconee, the captain's wide receiver and cornerback Chase Trent. Numbers, I don't have it. For Clarke Central, the captains being number 61, or number 60, William Webb. And it looks like that North Oconee traveled well. It seems that they have as many fans as Clarke Central, which is surprising for a homecoming game. But I could think the biggest noise factor is that they kind of make it feel like home with this band. They're really putting out a lot of noise tonight. That surely aids in North Oconee, at least the atmosphere and mentality that those players have coming in. And it looks like Clarke Central has chosen to receive. as North Oconee trots onto the field. And here comes the Clarke Central Gladiators. They look amped up tonight. A minute away from live action. Death Valley starting to come to life a little bit more as Clarke Central takes the field. All right. And kicker John Bowler ready to tee things off here in Death Valley. Back for Clarke Central. You have number 6, the 3-star Zay Brown. And opposite of him, number 12, Trey Smith. Or no, well, I don't know. And Bowler tees it off to Zay Brown. He tips-toes. Is it a fair catch? And he calls a fair catch. It looks like Clarke Central's down at the... Okay, it was a touchback. Down at the 20-yard line. Clarke Central will start the ball at the 20-yard line. Jack Mangle will lead the Clarke Central offense onto the field to start this game off.
Yes, we're really excited to see him play. Really excited to see what he has for us and see if he will be continuing his success on the field. I know they're coming off a few losses, so.
And the 2 wide receivers on the outside, Reggie Smothers and Rico Arnold. As Jack Mangle hands the ball off to the running back for 1 yard. That's a 1-yard game. It'll be 2nd and 9 from their own 20-yard line.
And that was number 21, Jonathan Sewell. We've seen a lot of yards rush this season, 256 thus far.
All right, we'll see what Clarke Central comes out with here on 2nd down after what was a mediocre first down game. Mangle lines up under the center. Sewell, the sole running back. They have 2 wide receivers on the left side. Mangle hands the ball off to Sewell, who breaks down the middle. He's at the 50-yard line, the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, and 2 plays into the game. Clarke Central puts 6 points up on the board here. The crowd is going crazy. A little bit deflating for the North Oconee crowd. What happened there on that play, Adley?
I really think Jonathan Sewell found a hole in the pocket, and his offensive line did an awesome job at really blocking for him. He found it, and he ran with it. He didn't look back, and he kept going, and he made it all the way to the goal line.
So 50 seconds into this game, the score is already 6-0 as Clarke Central scores first on here on their own homecoming night. The kicker, Williams Downs, puts it up. And the kick is good. That brings the score to 7-0 Clarke Central Gladiators. The head coach Dave Perno has to be happy with that. An 80-yard run by running back Jonathan Sewell.
Yeah, we can go ahead and add that back to his, like I just mentioned, 256 yards thus far. So he's definitely adding to his rushing yards and really getting the ball and making the points and making the plays where they need to be made.
And Hadley, there's nothing more deflating for an offense or a head coach than to watch his team just get run on it right there in 2 plays. That definitely hurts the mentality and confidence of this North Oconee football team. So let's see how they respond right here with 11 minutes left to play in the first quarter.
Yes, they're definitely going to have to get back out there and really run the ball and really just get the yardage and not let this 50-second score just really get in their heads. They're going to have to focus, and Coach Shuley mentioned that before the game as well.
All right, and William Downs gets ready to tee off for Clarke Central. North Oconee will get their first shot to tie things up here tonight. The kick is up. And it's a touchback for North Oconee. They'll get the ball at their own 20. Trotting out for North Oconee today. Tell us a little bit more about Turner Daniel. Who's his favorite target, Hadley?
Turner Daniel really has not been much of a passer this far. He's a young leader on the team. I talked to Coach Tooley before the game, and he was really adamant about how he was stepping up to lead the team since they are such young players, only a junior, and having many sophomores and many freshmen starting. So,
absolutely. Trotting out on the field, you see the star for North Oconee, Jermaine Browner, lined up all the way to the right. That's been the starting running back so far. They optioned him off across to the left side. And Turner Daniel hands it off for what appears to be about a 4-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 6 for North Oconee.
They're making a few substitutions.
All right. Turner Daniel lines up in the shotgun here for 2nd down. He rolls out to his right, Clarke Central pressuring, and makes a nice gain. That'll be a 1st down for North Oconee. Incomplete pass. He dropped it. Sorry about that. Dropped the pass there, and it'll be 3rd and 6 for North Oconee.
That was an attempt to pass to number 11, Chase Trest, senior.
It was a nice-looking pass, though, Hadley. I think that attacking, a little bit more, catching this team off down, like you said, the only chance that it looks like North Oconee really has is in the passing game, considering they're already down 7-0. So to come out popping, that'll be something. As Turner Daniel hands the ball off to the running back, a nice little run. And that will be a 1st down after about an 11-yard gain by the running back. 1st and 10 from their own 32. All right, Turner Daniel lines up in the shotgun again right here. And he'll take it himself to the right side and is immediately swallowed up by the Clarke Central defense for what appears to be no gain. That'll be 2nd and 10 from their own 30-yard line. 33-yard line. Interesting twist here, Hadley. North Oconee not using Jermaine Browner very much.
It's definitely surprising seeing his pass and him being the lone scorer thus far of their season.
Turner Daniel lines up under center. And here he will hand it off to Jermaine Browner, who takes it up the left side for what appears to be about a 3-yard gain. That'll bring up 3rd and 7.
There we go. We're seeing Jermaine Browner with the ball again, and he's really been showing out with this team. Hasn't been a lot of scoring, but he's definitely been a key factor when that has happened for them.
Absolutely. Not a lot of bright spots for this North Oconee offense, but what they can get is having a little bit of that. And building the confidence of Turner Daniel has to be an important part of the game for North Oconee. You see him get back there with no running back, his empty shotgun formation. Turner Daniel takes the snap. Clarke Central rushes, and the pass is caught by Jermaine Browner, but for no gain. That'll bring up 4th and 7. It looks like the ball will be going back to Clarke Central after what was a short drive for North Oconee. And here trots on the special teams for North Oconee. Back to return the punt, Zay Brown, the 3-star commit out of South Carolina, and this true star of this Clarke Central team. Brown gets it at the 25. He makes a cut up the field, a stiff arm, about a 15-yard gain for Zay Brown, and Clarke Central will be back up here, out here to let their offense to go work again to try to go up early.
Zay Brown is definitely a leader for this team, and that's definitely something Coach, the football operations, told us before when we talked to him. He definitely mentioned how Zay is a leader, whether he wants to be or not, and the team really looks up to him.
All right, as Jack Mangle trots back out here, hasn't got much work in yet, so let's see how Clarke Central decides to look this drive. Mangle will line up underneath the center. And the running back gets optioned out. Mangle pump fakes and goes deep. And Clarke Central drops it. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10 situation for Clarke Central. He was wide open down the sideline. It just fell right between his fingertips. I wouldn't say great defense by North Oconee, but a slip up there definitely saved him. All right, Clarke Central lines up. A stoppage in play here. Let's see what that's all about. The referee is trotting over to converse with each other. I don't see any flags thrown on the field. See a Clarke Central coach coming out to talk to the refs. I'm not quite sure what that was about, but here they go, line up again for 2nd and 10 from their own 39-yard line. Jack Mangle will line up again under center with Smothers, and Mangle drops back, or running back takes it up the right side, and he's down the sideline, cuts left to the 10-yard line. Another touchdown for Sewell. Or Jonathan Sewell, another about a 60-yard run for him. That's his 2nd touchdown of the night and easily puts him over 120 yards. So far for Clarke Central, 4 plays, 13 points. An impressive outing so far from this Clarke Central offense.
Yes, we definitely see Sewell's skills coming in play right now.
And Downs out to kick again. It could be a busy night for Downs over there, teeing up on extra points the way this one's going. And Downs puts it through again. That brings the score to 14-0. Clarke Central coming out to a roaring start against this North Oconee team. They're really imposing their will with the homecoming night.
And Jonathan Sewell this game already has racked up 141 yards on top of his previous 256. So this is already panning out to be a big game for him.
And Sewell, just a sophomore, Hadley. Certainly colleges will be taking a look at him. So this is an impressive game, at least to pad his stats at that aspect, as he tries to get college coaches to come and look at him for the rest of his year. Still young and still learning. Back to return for North Oconee. Number 6, Jermaine Browner. Number 11, the senior Chase Trent. As Clarke Central gets ready to kick off yet again, only less than 6 minutes into the game. The kick is up. And Chase Trent fields it at the 5-yard line. He takes it up the left side down to about his own 18-yard line, and North Oconee will trot out from the field inside their own red zone.
Taken down by a large amount of players there from Clarke Central. They didn't give him much of a shot to run.
And so far in this game, Hadley, you have to think that the athleticism and just overwhelming experience of Clarke Central seems to be taking out this younger and just a little bit more inexperienced North Oconee team.
Definitely, North Oconee struggles with experience and also size, just numbers. They are definitely the smaller team and definitely the less experienced team, but I'm hoping that they're going to come back out here and really give it their best.
Okay, and trotting out on the field is Turner Daniels, ready to lead this offense to try to get something going here as he fakes a pitch going up the right side. A carry for about 4 yards. That'll be 2nd and 6 from their own 20-yard line.
He snuck around 1 or 2 tackles there, but eventually was brought down in that last one. But luckily he did make a few yards on that play.
Absolutely, Hadley. We see Turner going back there under center again. Lined up behind him. The fullback, Turner Hargrave. He fakes to Brian Malden and misses Jermaine Browder on the right side. That'll bring up 3rd and 5 from the 20-yard line.
Jermaine Browner did not seem too happy with that pass, but definitely something that they need to work on is working together as a team and really getting themselves out there and building that team spirit.
Absolutely, Hadley. You see the coach trying to get the ball into Jermaine Browner's hands any way he can. And you see Turner Daniel getting back there in shotgun formation. He's lining up underneath the center. Let's see what they do here on 3rd down. And Daniel pitches it to Browner. Browner cuts up field. He makes 4 tacklers miss. Down to the 38-yard line. That's a big play for North Oconee.
It's a good first down for them to get. I know they need something right now to just bring their spirits up and really pull them together as a team. And if it takes number 6, Jermaine Browner, their sole scorer, to do that, then that's what they need to do and just continue using him because he is a weapon for their team.
Absolutely. It looks like Thule's main goal right now and mission is to get the ball in number 6 hands, and can you blame him? It seems to be the only bright spot here for this North Oconee offense as Daniel lines up in the empty set, takes the snap, rolls out to his right, and he'll keep it himself. Scrambles, he slips through a couple tacklers, and it looks like he inched his way up into a first down. Another good play by North Oconee. They'll have their ball at their own 47-yard line. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's 2nd and short. Didn't quite make it there.
Definitely seems like the momentum is picking up for this North Oconee team. The Titans seem to be getting excited and getting ready to play.
Absolutely. It looks like Clarke Central is just getting a little spread out here as Turner Daniel ready to take the snap again. And he'll take it right up the middle here. You see him just push down his way down to their own 48-yard line, and North Oconee crosses the 50 and gets into their own field for the first time this game.
Yes, he's really been showing out and using his leadership and his momentum to really help push the team, and I'm really glad to see that they're starting to make plays.
I think Clarke Central's a little surprised to see Turner Daniel tuck down the ball and run it tonight. And Jermaine Browner takes it up the left side to the 5-yard line. Or, I'm sorry, to the 40-yard line, a 5-yard gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 5. All right, and this is definitely the best drive that we've seen at North Oconee. Has to be enlightening, at least for them to stay on the field here. Turner Daniel lining up in the shotgun here at 2nd and 5. Daniel does a read option play that gets him back to the line of scrimmage. Be 3rd and 5. All right, a pivotal third down here for North Oconee. Turner Daniel lines up underneath center, options Brian Malden out to the left. Jermaine Browner also options out to the left, and the snap is fumbled, but Turner Daniel picks it up and runs for what seems to be a first down. A lucky play by North Oconee for sure, but they'll get the first down.
Turner Daniel really is making some crucial plays out in the field tonight. Definitely something that North Oconee is glad to see, and just the team in general, something to really give them momentum to continue and fight for it after this 14-0 lead with Clarke Central.
And you see Coach Tooley must be a little bit excited about this North Oconee offense as Daniel trots back out on the field for a new set of downs. North Oconee at their own 40-yard line. Daniel takes the snap and immediately is met by a Clarke Central defender, a sack of what seems to be about 5 yards.
The offensive line didn't do too great of a job right there, holding back the defenders and really keeping them behind the line of scrimmage.
All right, that brings up 2nd and 15 in their own 40-yard line, or I'm sorry, Clarke Central's 40-yard line, as Turner Daniel once again lines up under center. He takes the snap and a flea flicker. Daniel throws it up the right side to Jermaine Browner. He gets the ball. It's a touchdown for North Oconee here on a trick play that Coach Tooley called. Wow. And the Clarke Central fans look to be a little bit shocked as confetti is shot here from the North Oconee fans. Not something they're used to seeing, but something Jermaine Browner's used to seeing. What did you see there on that play, Hadley?
Jermaine Browner just did what he does best and scores for North Oconee. He's definitely been a leader of this team and just scored for his 4th time and for the Titans' 4th time as well.
All right, as Bowler comes onto the field here, and he puts it through the uprights. That makes the score 14-7. Clarke Central seems to be a little bit shocked here, back on their toes. North Oconee mixing it up a little bit here with 2 trick plays. You get the sense that they're trying to throw things at Clarke Central that they haven't seen before.
I think they know that they're outbeat with size and experience, and they're really just trying to throw the Clarke Central defense off their game, and we see in that last play and that last score, it really worked. That flea flicker to Jermaine Browner really setting up the North Oconee's offense for success and hopefully giving their defense some momentum to continue.
And Hadley, you talked about it before the game. Browner came into the game with the only 3 touchdowns for this North Oconee team. Well, now you can make him the 4 touchdowns that this North Oconee offense has scored. But now Turner Daniel has one to his team too. So he seems to come out here with a lot of confidence, and that's got to be a booster for this North Oconee team.
Definitely, Turner Daniel and Jermaine Browner seem to have something good going on, and hopefully we'll see that continue throughout the rest of the game.
And Clarke Central back to receive for the first time since the game opened up here. With 2 minutes, 53 seconds left to play in the first quarter, your score is Clarke Central 14, North Oconee 7. All right, and the kick is up. Clarke Central back to receive. He picks it up from his own 5-yard line, makes a cut, cuts back left, pushes it up to the 20-yard line, and is brought down at his own 23-yard line as the North Oconee team is starting to pick up a little bit momentum as this crowd is starting to go a little bit crazy. All right. And Hadley, just a little bit about Coach Tooley here. You talked to him before the game. What did he have to say about the game?
He really just highlighted on what we've seen so far. North Oconee's inexperience and just smaller size, for lack of better terms, than Clarke Central is really something they've been working on and really something they've been aware of, and know that they have been focused on running the ball more than they have in the past, but clearly passing the ball and using some trick plays has worked in their favor so far.
Absolutely, Hadley. As Jack Mangle lines up in the shotgun, and Hill's dropped back for his first pass of the night. And for a second pass of the night, sorry, excuse me. And once again, it slips right through the wide receiver's hand. So there seems to be some kind of miscommunication here between the quarterback and wide receiver. Hadley, they've had more success running the ball than they have throwing.
definitely they've seen many of their success with number 21, Jonathan Sewell. So hopefully the quarterback can just really get the communication down with those wide receivers and we can start seeing some success with passing plays.
Absolutely, as Mangold lines up in the shotgun again. He'll take the snap and drop back and whip it over to Sewell. Sewell breaks right. And another huge gain for Sewell up the right sideline, pushed out of bounds at their own 42-yard line. It seems like they have their go-to player tonight here, Hadley.
It does. We've seen a lot out of Sewell so far, and hopefully I see him and Mangold getting the communication down with the passing plays for sure. I know Sewell already had the running down, so I'm excited to see this new realm of offense that Clarke Central is starting to call.
All right, and Mangold lines up under center for the first time this drive. 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. Sewell takes the snap and is immediately led up or met by North Oconee defenders there at their own 43, a 1-yard gain to bring it to 2nd and 9.
The defensive line there definitely doing a good job of just holding their running back.
For North Oconee, that's definitely a big tackle there. That's the first time they've been able to even stop Sewell tonight. And we'll see what Clarke Central calls here on 2nd down as Mangold lines up in the shotgun formation. Sorry about that, folks. A couple technical difficulties there, but we're back here. Clarke Central has the ball at their own 46-yard line after a completion by Jack Mangold. And it'll be 1st and 10 here as Mangold lines up underneath center. You see the North Oconee coaches a little flurrying around there, down there on the sideline, trying to get this defense prepared for Jonathan Sewell, who's had an electrifying night. Sewell takes the ball up the right sideline, and once again, he'll run free for about a 20-yard gain down to the North Oconee's 30-yard line. Excuse me, folks, that was actually Mike Walker, so it looks like that Sewell's not the only running back they can't stop tonight.
Definitely a good running game by Clarke Central.
All right, Mangold in the shotgun. To his right is Walker. Mangold takes the snap, and just an easy screen pass to Walker, who cuts up the field, breaks one tackle, and is brought down. 4-yard gain. That'll bring it to 2nd and 6. And it seems like after that touchdown that the momentum has really not shifted totally in North Oconee's favor, but this is the first even defensive possession where they've made North Oconee or made Clarke Central run more than 2 plays, so they're starting to gain a little bit confidence as this game goes on.
Yes, definitely. I'm glad North Oconee's defense is picking up and starting to really push them back and hold them where they are.
Mangold takes the snap, and it's a little bit high. Pass is incomplete. That'll bring it 3rd and 6 for the Clarke Central offense. With a minute left to go here in the first quarter, your score, Clarke Central 14, North Oconee 7. A pivotal 3rd down here for Clarke Central to go up by 2 touchdowns. And North Oconee stops Clarke Central. That'll bring it 4th down for Clarke Central.
This is the first stop North Oconee's made defensively all night, so
it looks like that touchdown gave them a ton of confidence here, as that's the first stop that they've had tonight.
And that's exactly what they need, being the less experienced team. They need to have confidence and really play their best game.
But it looks like Mangold will actually trot back onto the field. Or no, I'm sorry, they're kicking it here. Downs is teeing up to kick it off. The kick is up, And the kick is good from Downs. An impressive leg, and that'll bring the score up to 17-7. But a good defensive outing by North Oconee nonetheless to hold them to 3.
Williamstown has been a great asset to Clarke Central's team, making a 49-yard kick against their season opener with Winder Barrow.
Absolutely impressive leg on the kid. That'll bring the score to 17-7 here with 19 seconds left in the first quarter. North Oconee has to be at least excited, though, about what's happened since those 2 trick plays and that touchdown.
And I think we can definitely see North Oconee coming together as a team and really starting to play as a team. And that's definitely something Coach Shuley mentioned to me at the beginning of the game.
Downs getting a little bit of a workout here in the first quarter. That was his third made, well, 1 field goal and 2 extra points made, and this will be his third kickoff, so his legs got to be feeling a little bit sore after all the activity here in the first quarter. Clarke Central gets ready to kick it off for the 3rd time tonight. Downs puts it up. Jermaine Browner fields it at his own 5. Breaks to the left, and he's free. Pushed out of bounds, though, at their own 26-yard line, it looks like, as the newly invigorated North Oconee offense trots back onto the field.
Jermaine Browner with the play again. He's definitely good at having an eye for where to run and where the blockers aren't.
Absolutely, Hadley. As you see, Turner Daniel lead his team back onto the field. They were able to find a little bit of success and trickery last drive, but let's see if Tooley will be able to do anything else to catch this Clarke Central defense off guard. Daniel hands it off to Browner up the middle. He spins left, but no game, and that'll be 2nd and 10 from their own 25-yard line.
It's definitely crucial for North Oconee to keep up their big plays and momentum since they've just got a hold of it and really just need to end this first quarter strong and really trying to score.
4 seconds left in the quarter. The refs seem to be conversing here. There was a flag thrown. Against Clarke Central, that North Oconee will walk the ball up to the 30, their own or 39-yard line. Bailed out there a little bit by the refs. It was a personal foul on Clarke Central defense. Sorry, that'll be a 15-yard penalty.
It was a head-to-head contact for,
and after the time was reset after the foul, that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. Your score, Clarke Central 17, North Oconee 7. Let's throw it down to our field reporter. Field reporter Teddy. Teddy, what do you have for us?
Hey guys, so I'm down here in the field on the side of North Oconee, and the energy is absolutely electric. You could tell that when they were down 14-0 that the energy from the fans and the team was really, really low. But once Turner Daniel launched that long touchdown pass, the atmosphere changed. The team and the players and the fans are all fired up now, and now it's much more better of a mood to be playing in down here. And that's all I have for you guys. Back to you.
As we're going into the second quarter, Hadley, would you like to expand on what Teddy said a little bit?
Yeah, Teddy definitely expounded on what we were talking about earlier with the momentum of North Oconee and just how she's down there with the fans and the players, and she can really tell. I'm sure she can tell down there. I know we can see it up here, but being within them and within reach of them, I'm sure it's pretty evident to her how much this momentum has helped North Oconee and how much North Oconee has started to play now that they have some.
And just like it's on a dime, you can kind of feel it just in the atmosphere. The fan base over here for North Oconee hyped up. You see their student section standing up and the cheerleaders getting into it. They're making this feel as much as a home game as possible as the sides shift. Clarke Central's fans a little bit less happy here after the touchdown by North Oconee. So you see Turner Daniel ready to start the second quarter here. A quick screen pass to Brian Malden, who takes it straight into a Clarke Central defender for about a 7-yard gain. That'll bring it to 2nd and 4 at their own 46-yard line.
And another completed pass by Turner Daniel on that play to number 4, Ryan Malden.
Turner Daniel takes the snap again from underneath center. We'll hand it off to Jermaine Browner. And he looks like he got enough for the first down there. North Oconee really starting to pick up here on offense as Daniel builds up confidence. You see him over there getting his plays from Coach Tooley.
Jermaine Browner pushing on to make the plays, the important plays. Looks like we were just short of a first down, but knowing this team and knowing the momentum they have, we'll see if they can pull it out.
And it looks like I was wrong. Not quite enough for the first down. It'll be 3rd and inches here. Interesting to see what play call Tooley will have for this North Oconee offense to get those few inches. Turner Daniel will line up underneath center, 2 behind him. Jermaine Browner will get the ball, and he'll get enough for the first down and a little bit more as he comes down to their for the Clarke Central 45-yard line.
Jermaine Browner definitely made those important plays when North Oconee's needed him and has been a big leader on this offense so far.
And Hadley, Jermaine Browner a little bit undersized. Some say that's a issue, but for him, players like Darren Sproles and things like that, what about his height kind of aids him at the high school level?
He's definitely been able to move around and duck in and out between the players and the offensive tackles and really break some tackles that a lot of other players wouldn't be able to.
As Turner Daniel takes the snap, it is immediately left by a Clarke Central defender for a loss at their own 50-yard line. That'll be a 5-yard loss on the play. Not the direction you want to be going.
Definitely not. They faked it to Jermaine Browner, but I was able to see that the ball was not with him after they tackled number 14, Turner Daniel, quarterback.
All right, Turner Daniel lining up here
definitely forgot to do tackles.
underneath the center. And Daniel hands it off to his fullback. It'll be about a 2-yard game, if that, though, as Clarke Central defenders swarm him immediately.
Clarke Central's defense starts to be picking up some of North Oconee's momentum and really holding them back. I think they see what their team needs to stop this offense.
Absolutely, Hadley. Surely the coach gave them a little bit of an earful after that last drive, and they're starting to play a little bit more fierce and serious here. North Oconee will have 3rd and 13 from the Clarke Central 49-yard line as Turner Daniels empty back in the backfield in shotgun formation. 3 on his right and 2 receivers on his left as Browner options to the left side. Daniel gets the ball, rolls out left, sees a man open, but throws it directly into his feet. That'll be 4th and 13, and it looks like North Oconee will option to punt.
Yes, that was receiver number 15, Garrett Paxton, who the throw was attended for, but was not completed that night, and we will have to see North Oconee kickoff.
Interesting here. You see Jermaine Browner out left and Turner Daniel actually on the field during the punting formation. Surely that makes trickery a little bit more possible here. But they're none on this play as the punter gets it. No flag called after it looks like the kicker had a little bit to go, but a flag will be called back there in the backfield as the Clarke Central Zay Brown takes it from his own 20 all the way into the end zone. But wait, folks, there's a flag back on the 20. Let's see what that's about before we start celebrating here.
Zay Brown, that crucial player.
Showing off as a little bit of athleticism as he seemed to just run through that North Oconee's return team. We'll go down to the stripes to see what that foul was on.
And that was an 81-yard run by Zay Brown. We'll just have to see what the foul is about, if the touchdown will stand.
And it looks like the refs over there conversing. But it looks like North Oconee is trotting their defense out to the field, so the Zay Brown's return will actually be called back. And it will be first down at Clarke Central's own 10-yard line. So Instead of an 81-yard touchdown run, you have a 10-yard penalty and will be starting inside their own 10-yard line. As Jack Mangle once again trots out onto the field to lead this Clarke Central offense. Mangle in the shotgun, running back to his left and to his right. Takes the snap. And he'll scramble out to the left. Breaks one tackle and takes off down the sideline. A big gain for Jack Mangle on the scramble up to their own 30-yard, or own 25-yard line, excuse me, a 15-yard run for Mangle.
A big play for Jack Mangle there. He's definitely in an atmosphere where he's playing against former teammates, so it's exciting to see how he's reacting during this football game thus far.
Absolutely, an interesting dynamic for Mangle. Went to Malcolm Bridge Middle School, so a lot of these players on defense, like you said, Hadley, were on his middle school team, so it's always interesting to play against your old middle school friends. Mangle takes the snap, throws a screen pass out to the right. Clarke Central breaks one tackle, but is met immediately by three others. After the 6-yard gain, that'll bring up 2nd and 4.
That pass was completed to number 2, Reggie Smothers, who's been a key target for Jack Mangle so far. Definitely one of his favorites to make those completions with.
Absolutely, Hadley. 2nd and 4. You got to think that Tooley really needs to stop here from North Oconee so that the momentum doesn't swing back in Clarke Central's favor here after that one touchdown that they were able to muster. Jack Mangle lines up underneath the center. 2nd and 4 from the 32-yard line. 2 wide receivers optioned out left. Mangle hands it off up the middle for about a 3-yard gain. That'll bring up 3rd and 1.
Another third down conversion we have to look at Clarke Central for. We're going to see how they make this play with new coach Dave Perno.
Yeah, and after 2 electrifying opening offensive drives for Clarke Central, North Oconee's done a great job keeping them in check here the last 2 drives. 3rd down here. Let's see what Clarke Central has to combat this North Oconee defense. Mangle takes the snap, passes out right, and the Clark's number 10 for Clarke Central, Ja'Cory Jordan, does a great job keeping his feet in bounds for about a 15-yard gain. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 44-yard line.
Ja'Cory Jordan definitely being a key player in Clarke Central's offense in the past. He made a touchdown against Gainesville in their season, their most previous game before their bye week this past week.
Absolutely. Clarke Central playing a tough game to Gainesville, who's Gainesville notorious for being a great football team. So that was just a good game for Clarke Central in general, as a screen pass by Mangle to the left brings up a 4-yard game. That'll bring 2nd and 6 at their own 48-yard line.
Yes, they lost 2 weeks ago to Gainesville, 14-21. Definitely a close game there after losing to Oconee 34-10 and having one win against Winder Barrow 31-0, dominating that team in the season opener.
And you got to think scores like that in a game like this is encouraging for new head coach Dave Perna, bringing back his alma mater here, Clarke Central.
Yes, definitely exciting to see him coach where he once played.
First down. And that play will be negated by a holding penalty. It'll actually be 1st and 15 instead of 2nd and 6 here. Mangle trots back out to lead his team from the shotgun formation. Mangle drops back. And just a miscommunication there with his receiver as he was cutting and threw it behind him. That'll bring up 2nd and 15.
A bit of confusion on the look of the receiver's face with the body language. He was not really sure that pass was intended for him, or if it was, what his quarterback, Jack Mangle, was really thinking about during it.
As the game has gone on, Death Valley is starting to fill up a little bit more and more with fans. As this game stays close, a little bit exciting. Surely a lot of those fans here to see the homecoming for Clarke Central on the home side. Mangle alone in the backfield. Drops back. looks over the middle. Pass is complete to number 10, Ja'Cory Jordan, for a 5-yard gain. That'll bring up 3rd and 10. Or I'm sorry, for a 6-yard gain. That'll bring up 3rd and 9.
Good to see Jordan getting some play time back in here. He wasn't too much played in the first quarter, but now we're starting to see him show out in the second quarter, especially this past drive.
Absolutely, and after what was a dominating performance, Hadley, what's going on with this Clarke Central offense to be held at will almost at by North Oconee?
Clarke Central's fighting, but North Oconee's momentum is just something that it's hard to stop.
And a timeout called here by Clarke Central. 5 minutes and 46 seconds left here in the second quarter. Your score, Clarke Central 17, North Oconee 7.
I think Coach Schuley realizes how important this play actually is, just to hold him back. It's 3rd and 9, but a first down here would be something for Clarke Central that could really get them going, get them on their scoring streak again like they were at this first quarter. So good to see Coach Schuley recognizing that and really trying to pump up his defense to keep holding them back.
Absolutely, and for Clarke Central, it's easy to get complacent after you come out and go up 14-0 in the first 5 minutes of the game, but good on North Oconee to come out and pop them in the mouth a little bit and get that trickery going to make that score 14-7. It's really thrown the momentum of Clarke Central off, and North Oconee almost has seemed to kind of control the flow of the game since then.
Definitely the second quarter has definitely been North Oconee's, just in the momentum. Not scoring-wise, we haven't seen North Oconee score other than that one time, but hopefully their momentum will continue once they get offense and if this becomes a turnover.
And Clarke Central trots back out onto the field from their own 45-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 9. Mangle takes the snap, drops back, looks right, scrambles right, throws it deep downfield, and that will be a completed pass to Rico Arnold. A huge game for Clarke Central, all the way down into the 5-yard line, Big play by Clarke Central.
Definitely, like you said, that was number 5, Rico Arnold. This is his senior year. He is definitely coming out to play, I know, as his last year on the high school field. He's excited and he's ready to really lead his team to a victory, and that kind of play is exactly what we need to bring Clarke Central's momentum back up.
Absolutely. Mangle able to scramble around a little bit with his feet and buy time, which let Rico Arnold get open there way downfield.
And Jack Mangle is 7 for 11 on completion, so definitely a good game for him so far. We'll see how that continues on this rest half.
Absolutely. Mangle lines up underneath center. Sewell, the running back. He hands off left to Sewell. Sewell around the left side and will be forced out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Nothing doing there for Sewell. That'll bring up 2nd down and goal.
I think they know Sewell can make those plays, and that's exactly what Dave Herno thought when he made that call for sure.
Some subs here for Clarke Central. Looks like they're bringing in their goal line package. Mangle lines up again against center. Sewell, the running back. He hands it off to his fullback, number 22, Nadarius Smith. And that'll be a touchdown for Nadarius Smith. His first on the day. That makes the score 24-7.
And just like that, Clarke Central's back in the game and back with that momentum that North Oconee just took from him. It's exciting to see how North Oconee's going to respond to this score by Clarke Central.
And after a tough couple plays by North Oconee on defense, that huge bomb by Jack Mangle down to the 5-yard line really deflated them as Downs puts it through the uprights. That'll make the score 24-7. Tough outing there for head coach Tooley and North Oconee defense, as they'll be ready to return the ball here in a few minutes.
William Downs, their kicker, number 15, really has been a really prominent player in this game so far. Definitely a kicking game for Clarke Central.
Absolutely, and Clarke Central seems to be getting all they need to get on the ground game. It's significant touches now so far from all 3 of their running backs, Sewell, Nadarius Smith, and Mike Walker.
223, an average. Clarke Central, average. Each play, like on each overall. Like they have that many rushing yards overall, but it's an average because I don't know if it's completely correct.
Clarke Central is averaging 223 yards this game so far, so definitely a running game for them. But not absent of those passes like we just saw from Zach Mangle.
And Downs back to kick again from his own 40-yard line. The band starts drumming. The kick is up. Jermaine Browner back to field it from his own 12-yard line. He slips through a couple tacklers and gets pushed out of bounds at the seems to be about the 34-yard line. Turner Daniel will lead the offense back onto the field once again here with a chance to score and make the game close with 4 minutes and 57 seconds left in play.
There is that. I think we saw Jermaine Browner's size come and play right then. Just being able to get in and out between those defenders is something that's really set him apart from North Oconee's offense.
Absolutely, Hadley. He's a key component here for North Oconee to move down the field. It seems like they're trying to get him the ball in any way they can. Turner Daniel lines up here. And the ball's actually snapped to the running back, Malden, in the Wildcat formation. They'll run the ball down for what seems to be about a 4-yard gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 6.
Solid play by North Oconee's offense. Definitely number 4, Malden, has been a good player thus far and definitely shown out this game, and I think that's exactly what North Oconee's offense needs.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about Malden coming into the game, but North Oconee sure has made it a priority to use him as well as Browner in that dual-headed attack. Turner Daniel takes the snap, fakes it. This play seemed to be a little bit broken there as Clarke Central just gets all over Turner Daniel, brings him back down to make it 3rd and 11. Seemed to be some kind of miscommunication there, Hadley.
Yeah, it's hard to see what was going on there, but what we do know is that there was a lot of red and yellow jerseys on them.
That
it
is
definitely
for sure.
did not get far on that play for them.
And just like that, the momentum seems to be all Clarke Central's again, as North Oconee just not being able to muster anything here on offense. We'll see what they do here on 3rd and 11 from their own 30-yard line. Turner Daniel ready to take the snap underneath center. Daniel hands it off to the fullback, who takes it a good ways and is down at the 40-yard line after about a 7-yard gain on the play.
That was number 44, Will Newman, with that run. A good run. So excited to see how North Oconee continues. It is 4th down, though. They needed about 3 more yards to get that first down.
And it looks like they'll elect a punt instead and play the game of field possession with 3 minutes left still in the clock counting. But it is interesting to see with those position players like Jermaine Browner and Turner Daniel on the field during these if they'll decide to do a fake play.
It's definitely trying to throw the Clarke Central defense off.
And the ball is snapped up. Clarke Central gets into the backfield, and the punter is met by 4 Clarke Central players. Number 48, I believe, for Clarke Central, Byron Spraggins blitzed through the offensive line and got to the punter. That will let Clarke Central have the ball at their own, or at, North Oconee's 30-yard line.
I definitely think that's where you see the lineup like that for punt formation really collapsing in not for the offense. I can see North Oconee has a game they're trying to play with the trick plays, and it definitely has not worked the best for them out here, but North Oconee's defense out now. We're excited to see how they answer Clarke Central.
And Mangle quickly back out on the field for Clarke Central. Options Mike Walker out to the left. He'll dump it off to Smothers. It'll take the ball up for about a 5-yard gain. A lot of screen passes here have worked into Clarke Central's offense.
We see Reggie Smothers with the ball again. Like we mentioned before, him and Mangle have had something going on all season, and it's exciting to see them play on that chemistry they've used.
Absolutely. Clarke Central has no shortage here of what seems to be skill players between Smothers, Jacory, Jordan, and the 3 running backs of Sewell, Smith, and Walker. They've had quite a balanced attack so far in this game. As Mangle will line up once again underneath center, 2nd and 5 from their own 23-yard line. And Mike Walker is immediately met by a North Oconee defender. Although he doesn't go down, you'll hear the whistles. A huge loss there for Clarke Central.
That was number 90, Kyle Poole. Definitely a key play right there. Keeping Clarke Central from getting that touchdown right now is going to be huge as North Oconee prepares for the second half.
Absolutely, Hadley. It's so easy for that defense to feel defeated down 24-7 after watching your punter get blitzed like that. A huge play by the North Oconee defense to make a stop there and put their feet in the ground and make it 3rd and 8. We'll see if they have enough here to bring Downs back onto the field. Mangle, empty back there at shotgun, takes the snap, looks left, and wide open over the sideline, to the left of the field there. The pass is complete.
Completes number 10, Ja'Cory Jordan. Again, we're seeing Ja'Cory just make those plays exactly when he needs to.
Absolutely. That's deflating for that defense. To get them to 3rd down and just watch them run it up the field again has got to be frustrating, as it'll be 1st and goal from the 5-yard line again for Clarke Central.
It's going to be important for them to keep their spirits up and continue blocking and maybe possibly holding this off to just a 3-point score.
Absolutely, Hadley, as Jack Mangle once again lines up with Mike Walker in the backfield. You have 2 fullbacks. And it looks like Mangle decided to keep it himself for a 2-yard game. That'd be 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. And you have a player down here. But he gets up and waves off the trainers and says, "Coach, I'm good. Let me play." It'll be 2nd and goal here.
He's coming off the field now. That's number 24, Anthony Dunn.
And it's tough for these players to, relinquish the fact that they have an injury, especially on homecoming night in front of almost a packed house here in Clarke Central. Players want to play. And that's tough there for the Clarke Central coach, having to pull him off. Player safety becoming more and more evident for football teams.
I know, especially he's a senior, Anthony Dunn, so this is an exciting moment for him. His senior homecoming game, he's coming out and he's playing with everything he has. The last thing he does is want to be taken off the field.
And Clarke Central taking a minute after that injury just to kind of get set here. 1 minute and 8 seconds left in the half. Your score, Clarke Central 24, North Oconee 7. And despite the gap on the scoreboard, the game has felt a lot closer at times than the score may show. But here in a second, maybe not so much, as it looks like Clarke Central is threatening to score yet again. Mike Walker, the tailback. Mangle hands it off to the fullback, however. Nadarius Smith with his 2nd touchdown of the game, both coming with inside the 5-yard line. That'll make the score 30-7.
And that's going to be tough for North Oconee to come off of this next half. 57 seconds left in the first half, and we're going to see North Oconee's response after this extra point attempt by William Downs.
Downs, yet again, back on the field to kick here. The kick is up, and it's good. That'll make the score 31-7. Hadley, North Oconee can just not stop this 3-headed attack of running backs by Clarke Central. Darius Smith, Jonathan Sewell, and Mike Walker.
I know. I think we're seeing definitely a theme of North Oconee's defense holding off Clarke Central's until the third down and really just losing that excitement and momentum as they make a big play on those 3rd conversions.
Absolutely. Clarke Central's done a good job of letting those big passes by Mangle opened up the offense a little bit for those running attacks, and North Oconee just hasn't been able to get their arms around them and bring them down.
I know we can definitely say North Oconee's defense is tired, but the scoreboard does not show that. And that's something that's probably a little upsetting to North Oconee's defense, and especially not heightening the spirits of that offense that just came on the field now.
Absolutely, and Chase Trent and Jermaine Browner trot back onto the field to field this kick. Let's see if North Oconee can do anything with 57 seconds left on the clock before time runs out in the half. Downs gets the signal, and the kick is up. Chase Trent will take it from his own 6-yard line. Trent goes right, gets around the corner, and pushed out of bounds, but a late hit on Trent after he steps out of bounds at his own 28-yard line. It looks like that'll be a 15-yard penalty. And the Clarke Central has had some head-scratching penalties here that have really aided North Oconee in the first half, despite them being up big.
Yeah, their director of football operations told us before the game that their biggest opponent during this game was themselves, and that we're definitely seeing that in these penalties right now. He said that that's what was going to beat them, and hopefully this is just a one-time thing and they don't continue on this path toward all these penalties and personal, especially late hits. Definitely a 15-yard penalty is a big movement for North Oconee's offense.
Absolutely. It hurts to see, just, you know, as a coach, I'm sure Perno's over there just frustrated because it's hard to see your players play so well and then get everything negated by penalties. As Turner Daniel trots back on the field, let's see what North Oconee options to do here with 52 seconds left from their own 44-yard line. Daniel takes the snap, drops back, a little slip screen here to the fullback. He'll get down to his own 48-yard line, a 6-yard gain on the play, or I'm sorry, 5-yard gain on the play. That'll bring up 2nd and 5.
Definitely with the clock running and around 30 seconds to go, we'll see how North Oconee plays the rest of this offensive drive.
All right, and North Oconee will call a timeout here to get a little bit set to see. They only have 27 seconds left, and we've seen Tooley resort to trickery a little bit here in the first half. Let's see if he's got anything up his sleeve for his next play.
I know after North Oconee score and the flea flicker in the first quarter, it's exciting to see the kind of plays Tooley has planned, because I think Tooley understands their strength and the weaknesses of this team, and he's really using that to the advantage. So it's exciting to see how the team is going to play those strengths and weaknesses out.
Absolutely, and despite the score gap here, North Oconee fans still in good spirits as they've came out in droves tonight for this game. It looks like the experience for them seems to mean a whole lot more, than the production their team's putting out on the field.
Definitely, the counties have had a history, Clarke County and Oconee County being so close with each other. This is a rivalry in itself, even though the last time these two teams played was a scrimmage in 2013.
On 2nd and 5, Turner Daniel trots back out on the field. You see number 6, Jermaine Browner, optioning off to his right side, folks. Make sure you stay watching on him. Oh, you see him crossing over to the left. Keep your eyes on him here on this play. They'll probably try to get the ball into his hands as you see Daniel look that way, scramble out to his left, throw across his body to Jermaine Browner for a big game. Pass is complete, brought down to the Clarke Central 33-yard line. Good looking play there.
Yeah, you see Jermaine Browner knowing to run out of bounds. Just experience that comes with his position and the team on his back. He's definitely been a player throughout this first half, and it's exciting to see him making the plays when there's so little time on the clock.
Absolutely, and 23 seconds left in the half. Daniel gets the snap, a low one, scrambles to his left and is immediately met by Clarke Central, but is able to escape to his right, throws across his body and finds an open receiver downfield, but a flag is out. Let's see what the ref has to say about that one.
And that was to number 16, Mika Fick, the wide receiver. He's a sophomore. The first completion made to him to the game.
Absolutely, Hadley, and just the ability for Daniels to escape there with his mobility. It looks like Clarke Central had him dead on the left side. He was able to escape, and that bought time for the receiver downfield. Timeout, North Oconee here, folks. We're having a little bit of trouble going on with that. See what's going on with that flag there. But I believe that the throw will count, and it will be 1st and goal from the 9-yard line for North Oconee.
We see the chains moving down. Definitely an exciting time for North Oconee. 12 seconds left. Them scoring right now would definitely be an aid for them in the second half, just to get their fans and the players back on their feet and really ready to go and play their best second half.
Absolutely, as you see Tooley in the huddle, surely drawing up something here to get them into the end zone, hopefully, and not have to settle for a field goal.
Definitely, North Oconee has not scored in a second half of a game thus far this season, so getting momentum before the second half is crucial for this game.
Turner Daniel once again empty in the backfield. You see Jermaine Browner over there on the right side. That's been the go-to guy. We'll see if Daniel looks for him once again here in the end zone with 12 seconds left. Daniel takes the snap and drops back immediately met, but looks across the middle for Jermaine Browner. Throws it a little bit behind him. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds left, so it looks like North Oconee will be able to have another go if they want to for the end zone.
The one problem with Turner Daniel and Jermaine Browner's just chemistry is sometimes you can tell that Turner Daniel looks for Jermaine Browner, especially even when there's other receivers who are open, a little more open than Browner has been in the past few plays.
Absolutely, Hadley. And Turner Daniel lines up again, empty in the backfield. Browner out to the right. Daniel scrambles right, looks right. The pass is complete. Touchdown, North Oconee. A big play there by Daniel, who marched them down the field and was able to create space with his legs. That'll bring the score to 13-31 with seconds left in the half.
Yeah, and that's the first touchdown for Mika Vick, and the first touchdown not by Jermaine Browner this far this season. So definitely exciting time for North Oconee and the quarterback, Turner Daniel.
And absolutely, Hadley, like you just said, sometimes he's looking for Browner too much, and it looks like Clarke Central overcompensated and double-teamed Browner there, and he was able to find a different, as the stunt looked tipped there, but it will go in, and North Oconee escapes there with the extra point. That'll make the score 31-14 with 4 seconds left in the half.
And what a crucial play by North Oconee in this last drive. Coming in first and goal with 12 seconds left on the clock was definitely a show of North Oconee's drive and momentum for this game, and I think definitely right here we saw their teamwork and that effort, especially that practice they've been coming up this week against Clarke Central, come into play.
And it looks like, Hadley, that every time Clarke Central seems to go up, North Oconee's kind of able to capitalize on their complacency. It looks like Clarke Central just starts to get a little bit lazy when they go up a lot, and North Oconee just won't lie down and take it.
Exactly. Clarke Central clearly has this team beat with their record and their size, but North Oconee is not giving up, and they are fighting despite the fact that they are the smaller team, despite the fact that they are the younger team. That has not stopped them in their effort to continue this game and fight.
And Hadley, always an interesting decision here with 4 seconds left. Do you kick it back there to the talented Zay Brown, or do you squib it? We'll see here what Tooley's drawn up. As John Bowler gets ready to kick it off. And it's a short kick to the left. Mike Walker misses it. But it looks like he tipped it, so no flag will be called out on the play. Not quite sure why he went for it there. And with 4 seconds left in the game, Clarke Central will trot their offense out here, probably for just what will be a running play, and we'll get into the half.
Definitely, I don't think Clarke Central is going to risk anything right here with only 4 seconds left after the momentum that North Oconee just got from that last scoring.
That's right, Hadley, but with the way that Clarke Central's been running the ball, they might have been able to peel off an 80-yard run there, but instead they'll kneel it, and that'll bring us to the half. Your score, Clarke Central 31, North Oconee Titans 14. And Hadley, we talked about the stars, or the key players, a little bit in the beginning of the game. For North Oconee coming into the game, we talked a little bit about their running back, but what has Turner Daniel done that's impressed you here in the first half? He's really shown a lot of confidence.
He's definitely shown his completions have been 7 for 11 this game, and even for a 40-yard touchdown in the first half. That's definitely something that we're not expecting to see from Turner Daniel through these past games, coming off of 3 losses, but he's definitely been showing out and using his wide receivers to his advantage. They got 2 touchdowns with him this first half, so definitely something we weren't expecting, since in prior games North Oconee averaged about 9 points.
And on the Clarke Central side, a little bit more balanced as far as they go on offense, but what has been the keys of their offensive game so far for the first half?
Running has definitely been Clarke Central's key component. Running for 223 yards around that for the first half has been something that's definitely shown up for Clarke Central. They are 9 for 13 in completions for their quarterback, Jack Mangle, and we expected a lot of him coming into this game, and it's exciting to see that he's definitely shown us what we are expecting.
Absolutely, and as so far the game has turned out in Clarke Central's favor. But for now, let's throw it down to our sideline reporter, Teddy, and hear what she has about the first half. Teddy?
So the first early touchdown by Clarke Central's running back, Jonathan Sewell, really set the tone for this game, and Clarke Central's offense has been completely explosive ever since. They're pumped, they're coming off a bye week, it's their homecoming week, they're excited over there, so I expect them to be even more explosive second half. I talked to head coach of North Oconee Titans football team before the game, Terry Tooley, and he said that he told his team before the game to not focus on their 0-3 record and to just come into the game confident. So I expect him to pump them up in the locker room and keep them confident. And I think the late touchdown in the first half by North Oconee will definitely give them some confidence to come out more explosive. But they're pumped too, so I think it'll be a good second half. Back to you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Teddy. As North Oconee continues to look impressive here in the first half, and Clarke Central, however, continues to dominate while the homecoming festivities are going on. We're going to go to break. See you guys back here in 18 minutes for the second half.
Yes, that's it.
And now, our 6 juniors.
For your ticket?
Okay, I don't think I have to pay it. Andrea Edwards. She is the daughter of Grady Edwards and Grady Edwards. Attending Florida Community College. She is a senior teacher. This book is and I hope that study I like she's like she is inspired by Oprah. So I thought you were actually trying to say something. I would make it like even something that I said something about I can't so that one's great. is the daughter of Miranda Lester and Grady is being employed tonight by the
What's her watch?
Crazy.
Come on, please. I got all of them. Please watch my mind. It's so every time he wears that,
he's going to stand beside me. We have the same one except he's 33.
I engage my honestly, that's a fact. When it comes to everything.
Oh, yeah.
I already tried it. Such my words.
She plans with her Tanisha Phillips. She is the daughter of Kendrick and majoring
Wait. Wait, Chelsea, what did you say when you applied to UGA? I said that you applied as an Indian man.
And now, our homecoming queen for 2016 is
How do you prove it?
Jada Smith.
Hey, y'all ready to roll out?
Oh, so hey, if I was a guy and applied for nursing,
They don't even have that.
I'm actually doing that thing.
They don't actually have it. What? That's others. Give me some. You're as high as we did. Very rich. I don't know her. Well, you could do teaching early childhood development. Early childhood.
See, like, I'm good with kids, though, and I feel like I'd end up having to do that.
You can apply. You can switch it as soon as you get to talking to life. That's what I really changed it. I changed mine right after I got accepted.
I kind of want to go to coastal junior.
You should have been right there. I could never see a job. He loves it. You could go get a job in National Park. Isn't that awesome?
Did you see Chelsea as like a park ranger?
Yes, with the hat and like the outfit. Please! So you guys, when me and Holly first, in the beginning of college, we were trying to figure out what you wanted to be. Maybe like a park ranger. That's what I'm I didn't know. I'm just thinking like, park ranger. Like, just hanging out. Wait, did you watch? Have you seen it? I mean, that was about to be like, park ranger. Lady Saber, park ranger. Chelsea, imagine if you were a park ranger. Please! You're talking loudly. Please, she would have on the vest with the little Velcro pockets right here. And she'd have that awesome hat that was like really too big for her head. I have a picture of my grandpa in that outfit. He was like was he a park ranger? He was a forest. That's good.
Hey, Chelsea,
How
I
did he
can
get
apply
mad?
for
Did you laugh? Yes, he was really
Chelsea, I can apply for Bachelor merchandising.
Yes, do that. Do it. I'm serious. No, I'm trying to get. Oh, you touched my arm. My arm.
Or furnishings and interiors.
He's gonna say, right? Okay. Okay, never mind.
Hey, Miss Kelly. Chelsea, I'm going through your purse.
How do you... Let me know if you find anything.
Hold on.
Flash on. We can flash on.
Look at this picture.
Or I could apply for women's stuff.
Oh my gosh, Andy! Women's places? Have you seen the
I knew it started at 2. You know what? I watched more of The Office. I watched every single one of those in Carlos.
Yeah, that was the
You didn't know.
Hey, was it road trip for next weekend? Yes.
Hey, Chelsea, can I do fashion merchandising? Wait.
I didn't like the way
Sorry.
We need to get that line away from the
Hey, Chelsea,
Sorry, I'm not.
I do.
Chelsea, can I do fashion merchandising or women's studies?
Women's
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for the end. And you get ice
The chances of that happening are very slim. I would say if I were a good
I like your smile. I bet you'd see my face in oil in that way. Wow, I look like Jesus. I'm just kidding. Jesus? I'm just kidding. There's only one God, and I will not compare myself to him. That is a sin. Poor guy. What poor guy?
Flashbacks.
A nice one. Let me see. I know you got the little ball of light in your eyeball. Do I look like clown face? Is it too big for me? Good. Is it too big for me?
Fourth round here in Loganville, 27, right to 0-0.
Oh my gosh, they were ice cream.
Score is Flower Train, 0.
$7 for the rubber stuff. Oh, don't even worry about it. That's totally fine.
In for 21,
My eyes feel like
Tango,
running
0.
flash. My eyes feel like running flash. Alright, back to the student section. Bye, Nugget. I guess she's bad. I'm really
7-0 over Peter Flowers at halftime.
You're not going? We're probably going to go get ice cream soon. Because that's all we need.
I really want something like not too sugary, but really
Well, it's just like shorts
and hydrating. A smoothie or something.
What is it?
I need just 3 more minutes.
Oh, Gemma might be down there. Oh, Gemma? Gemma's here?
Gemma Kumar, she's the Arrow Pie.
I told her about that's my brother. I gotta go. It's a cute one. Are you ready? Do you just see the Yeah, but I can't do it to my full potential because I'm having to balance. I had to be careful on that one.
The video ran so
What kind of trash your yellow. Is it Joe? Oh, that's so cheap. Is it Joe? $536.
Welcome back, folks, to this Friday night football matchup between Clarke Central High School and North Oconee Titans. Your score after one half, Clarke Central 31, North Oconee 14. I'm Tyler Donaldson, joined by my co-host, Hadley
Brown.
Sorry, Hadley, I forgot your last name there for a second. Hadley, going into the second half here, what are some of the keys to the game for Clarke Central continuing on their success?
Clarke Central really has to focus on their key players. Jack Mangle's done a great job at that, leading that offensive, and definitely Jonathan Sewell has been a key player with 141 yards, and that's including a touchdown in his first half. So especially with him, just keeping him running the ball, and definitely probably keeping the ball more on the ground, not trying to risk any unnecessary turnovers as they continue on this Clarke Central offense.
Absolutely, and with Clarke Central having an opportunity to control the game going forward, what about on the flip side, the visiting North Oconee down big? What can they do to get back into the game here?
North Oconee traditionally is not a second half scorer. They have not scored at all in the previous games in the second half, so they really need to just answer Clarke Central's first half and really just go out there and play to their advantage. They have Turner Daniel, who's had a great game so far.
Okay. Absolutely, Hadley. And before we go back into the second half, let's throw it down to our sideline reporter, Teddy. Teddy, what do you got for us?
Hey guys, so I just talked to North Oconee's head coach, Terry Tooley, during halftime, and he said that what he told his boys in the locker room was to not cry about or dwell on anything that happened in the first half. He says that he just wants to show everyone that his team still has fight in them, and he said that late touchdown shows everyone that the North Oconee Titans still have some fight in them, and he says that he wants his team to ultimately just play every opponent hard. He says that he wants his opponents to appreciate the fact that the North Oconee Titans played them hard, and he said that's what they're doing tonight, and he's really proud of his team. That's all I have. Back to you.
Thanks, Teddy. Before the game, talking to Coach Tooley, he did mention on how his, at least he knows he won the uniform battle. It looks like he's eyeing a little bit more than that, because winning uniform battles can only go so far in high school football. The fans want a little bit more on the scoreboard. As we get ready to start the second half off here, North Oconee back to receive, looking to continue and build on the confidence and success of quarterback Turner Daniel. Jermaine Browner and Chase Trent back to receive as Clarke Central gets ready to tee off here in Death Valley.
It's exciting to see how North Oconee is going to answer after they just scored, ending off the first half.
Absolutely, Hadley, and this first drive could be a big momentum, a big chance for them to cement momentum here in the second half as Browner fields the ball at his own 15 and is immediately brought down by the Clarke Central defense at his own 22-yard line. Turner Daniel will trot out onto the field to lead this North Oconee offense.
Yes, after ending off the score being only 31-14, Clarke Central ahead, North Oconee has a lot of points to make up and definitely has to get back in the game. After they ended off with the scoring touchdown and the extra point, we're excited to see how they start off this first half, because this is going to be crucial as the game continues on.
Absolutely, Hadley. And we talked about the youth of North Oconee. After using Jermaine Browner so much in the first half, Daniel was able to find a touchdown pass to Micah Fika and use him a little bit more there at the second half. Fika, a 6'2 sophomore. It just looks like this North Oconee offense is starting to develop a lot more under Coach Tooley and gain some confidence as Turner Daniel takes the first snap of the half, scrambles out left, and is brought down by a host of Clarke Central tacklers, but he's able to get the ball off incomplete, and a flag comes out late from the referee. We'll see what that is here in a sec.
We're not sure if that flag was for intentional grounding.
It's a little bit harder in high school football because they don't have the microphones to tell us, so we got to watch the actions a little bit more. It looks like it's going to be actually an intentional grounding penalty against North Oconee. That'll back them up 5 yards. That'll be 1st and 15 back at their own actually, it looks like it's going to be 1st and 10 from their own 10-yard line, excuse me. Or 1st and 20.
Definitely not the first play North Oconee was trying to get. Now they're going to have to focus on really pressing on, and number 21 just left the field, and that is Turner Hargrave. So seems they're switching in and out some players.
Daniel lines up under center. Jermaine Browner and Malden behind him. Malden carries the ball for what appears to be about a 1-yard game. That'll bring up 2nd and 20.
Perno definitely had some words to say to his Clarke Central defense. He was definitely adamant about their defense not giving up any yardage because North Oconee just cannot seem to move the ball.
Excuse me, folks, that should be 3rd and 20. The intentional grounding penalty actually counted as a play. So instead of bringing that back, it'll actually be 3rd and 22. Interesting to see here what Tooley has for the North Oconee offense as Turner Daniel sets up in the shotgun, but moves up to under center after surveying the defense. Takes the snap, bobbles it, awkwardly pitches it to Browner, who goes about for 2 yards. It looks like that they'll just option the punt and play it safe here as Daniel walks off. Not an encouraging first drive for North Oconee.
Definitely not. Hopefully North Oconee's defense can come in and really just show up and get that momentum going for the offense. We know that Clarke Central has a lot of momentum on their defense, clearly being able to stop North Oconee with looks like much ease.
And after that rough first drive, that'll bring out David Chaput, the sophomore punter, will be going out of his own end zone. He was tackled earlier by the Clarke Central defense. We'll see if they're able to block and hold him on this play as Chaput gets it off. The ball is fielded by Zay Brown, who takes it up the right side. Brown stiff arms a tackler and is pushed out of bounds at his own, or I'm sorry, at the North Oconee 16-yard line. A big return by Zay Brown after his first 81-yard kickoff return was negated by a holding penalty.
That's the kind of plays that the reason that Zay Brown is a 3-star commit to South Carolina. He knows when Clarke Central needs the plays and he makes them. And it's been evident so far. We haven't seen him too much this game, but it's exciting to see that he's coming out the second half and coming out strong.
Absolutely. A quiet night for him on defense. Turner Daniel able to have 2 touchdowns actually against that Clarke Central secondary. But you can still see his athleticism on the kick returns nonetheless as Jack Mangle pitches it off to the left to Sewell. Sewell breaks it up the left side and pushed out of bounds there at the 5-yard line. A good run there by Sewell. We talked about this Clarke Central rushing game a little bit in the first half, the 3-headed attack of Nadarius Smith, Mike Walker, and Jonathan Sewell. Do you think they'll stick with that in the second half, Hadley?
I think so. I don't know why you would fix something that's not broke. Sewell is killing it out there. He has ran and been consistently successful in his runs, and it's exciting to see the running team of Clarke Central.
And you see after those homecoming ceremonies, the crowd is thinned a little bit on the home side as this is quickly turning out to look like a bit of a blowout here in Clarke Central. As again, it's now 2nd and goal for Clarke Central at their own 5 after a run for no gain by Jonathan Sewell.
This is where we start seeing North Oconee's defense being a key component of this game for them in the second half. Just this stop would be crucial for the rest of the game.
And absolutely, you have to think that Perno just wants his offense here to control the flow of the game here in the second half. Not make big mistakes or big penalties like they afforded in the first half as Mangle kind of scrambles in the back and just lofts it up to Smothers in the back of the end zone. A little bit of a miscommunication and breakdown there, Hadley.
Yeah, Smothers was close to catching it. It was not a terrible pass by Mangle, but definitely some miscommunication there. Mangle has been successful throughout this game, so it's exciting to see that he's continuing the passing game as well as their success in the running game.
Absolutely a dangerous pass there by Mangle, but that incompletion will bring up 3rd and goal from the North Oconee 5 as Mangle lines up behind the center. Smith at fullback, Sewell behind tailback. A fade route from Mangle is brought in by Smothers. A beautiful play for their to make it 37-14.
And that is exactly what North Oconee did not want to see coming into the second half. The play, the pass by Jack Mangle to Reggie Smothers is been key. Their communication has been very evident throughout this game, and their success has been a big part of this game and previous games in the past.
Hadley, you talked about it. Smothers being Jack Mengel's favorite target on that offense, and it shows right there on what seemed to be a beautiful fade route by Smothers as Downs puts yet another football through the uprights. He's having quite the night as well. Deflating defensive drive for North Oconee as they trot off the field.
We've seen Downs many times tonight, more than normal for a kicker, but it's exciting for him to have such a good game, especially coming off these 2 straight losses for Clarke Central.
And if you're head coach Tooley here, going into the second half, down 38-14, you've seen some great things from the offense, but moments like this is where you make sure that your team isn't just lying down and playing dead. Like he said, North Oconee is going to come out fighting this whole game because this is more of a rebuilding year for them. So it'll be interesting to see if he continues to attack that here on this drive as Downs gets ready to kick it off yet again for this Clarke Central team.
Yes, North Oconee is definitely going to have to keep the spirits up and keep fighting despite the scoreboard. They're going to just have to push that out of their mind and really focus on the play at hand and use their skills and the strengths they do have to their advantage against this offense that has answered many of their drives.
And Jermaine Browner and Chase Trent in a familiar position back ready to receive. Chase Trent will catch this one at his own 5-yard line. He'll come up the right side and be pushed out of bounds over there around the 20-yard line, so about as good as a touchback. And on that last drive, number 5, Rico Arnold, came off the field injured. Arnold was having actually being a good wide receiver there for Mengel. I'm sorry, excuse me, not on that drive. He was actually injured in the first half coming out of the locker room. We found out that Rico Arnold will not be playing this half.
Guys, I have an injury report for you guys on the field.
She said we have an injury report.
Me that senior wide receiver Rico Arnold is out for the remainder of the game. They are saying he's having severe soreness in his ankle and will not be able to play for the second half. Rico Arnold has offers from Eastern Kentucky and Charlotte, so this definitely might hurt Clarke Central's offense, but Reggie Smothers seems to be stepping up to the plate in the wide receiver position. That's all. Back to you.
Thank you, Teddy. A little bit of clarifying there on the Rico Arnold injury that we got coming out of halftime as North Oconee takes the field after a run for no gain. It'll be 2nd and 11 for Turner Daniel in the North Oconee offense. Daniel pitches left to Browner. Clarke Central there to meet him. Browner spins up the sideline, brought out of bounds for what looks to be about a 6-yard gain. That'll bring up 3rd and 6.
Another pretty good run there by Jermaine Browner. We've seen him consistently throughout this game in the North Oconee offense. It's been really encouraging for the North Oconee offense to have a little light shining and a little momentum in this game that just is not going in their favor so far.
Absolutely. Browner seems to be the skill player they're focusing on, but North Oconee's done a good job of getting other people involved. As you see Turner Daniel in the shotgun here, let's see what they do on 3rd and 5. Daniel takes the snap, scrambles, steps up in the pocket, is hit by a Clarke Central player, but escapes, and then is brought down by a gang of Clarke Central tacklers. That'll bring up 4th down as you see the punting team trotting out onto the field. Great escape there by Turner Daniel. Player looked ready to make a big hit, and he juked right out of the way out of the last second. The kids seem to have shown a lot of mobility so far in this game.
This definitely has been a good game for him despite the score. Not a good offensive drive, first offensive drive for the North Oconee offense, but it's exciting to see what they'll do the rest of the game. Hopefully we'll see them pick up momentum like they did first half.
And Dave Chapeau back to punt to Zay Brown. Brown fumbles it, but it's picked up by a Clarke Central player. A little mini scare there for Clarke Central as this game is just rumbling and bumbling down to a 49-yard line. Scare there for Clarke Central, but no harm done as the offense will trot out onto the field.
There is a flag on the play, though, so we'll wait to see what that's about for this play.
And the main concern for Perno tonight, besides their issues a little bit with complacency after going up big, is that they have had a lot of major penalties. We'll see what this one is on, but that's never good to see an undisciplined team, especially against a 0-3 team like North Oconee.
Definitely, Perno, I know, is aware that Clarke Central has had some penalties in the past few games and has had penalties that have been pretty crucial to the game. So hopefully this is not something that's going to continue throughout the second half, and it's just a little something to throw off Clarke Central in this game.
Absolutely, Hadley, and the flag will be against Clarke Central, so that kickoff return, fumble turn kickoff return will be negated as Mangle trots back onto the field to lead this Clarke Central offense. North Oconee defense looking a little stagnant here in the second half. Let's see if they have any fight in them. The running back options out left as Mangle throws another screen pass, which has been a heavy play so far in the game, but the pass is incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
That just looked like a lot of miscommunication in that pass. I didn't even see a receiver looking for a pass. So I think right there, just Clarke Central's been getting pretty comfortable with the lead and just needs to get focused and regain focus, because we've seen North Oconee come in and answer when they start acting undisciplined and start losing their focus in the game.
Well said, Hadley. As Mangle trots back out under center. Let's see what they have here for 2nd and 10. Mangley hands the ball off. A spin move, and it looks like he'll bring it down to about the 26-yard line. Mike Walker on the run. That'll bring up 3rd and 5. Right?
Mike Walker's definitely made a few good plays throughout this game so far for Clarke Central's offense. We've seen those plays be pretty, nothing too much, but definitely a key player for Clarke Central's offense.
Absolutely, Hadley, and this is a big play here for the North Oconee defense as a little screen pass dump off to the running back, but North Oconee's there to swallow it up. Great stop by the defense as they answer, and that will bring out the Clarke Central punting team.
And that was number 22, Nadarius Smith, with a completion, but it just was not enough. So good stop by North Oconee defense, exactly what this Titan team needs to really give the offense that momentum to continue on in the second half.
And not a lot of running plays there, surprisingly. It seems like that the miscommunication between the quarterback and receivers was a little evident there on that drive. Clarke Central back to punt, and Jermaine Browner back there to receive as he calls everyone to get away and lets that roll to him. It will be down by Clarke Central at the North Oconee 32-yard line.
I think that was a smart call to let the ball roll out by Jermaine Browner. He saw that he was going to be covered in by that Clarke Central defense and knew the play that was going to be right for his team.
Absolutely. Jack Mangle has had an interesting night so far, 11 for 17, a little sloppy on that last drive, but for the most part has looked good tonight, finding key players. A lot of screen passes heavy in this Clarke Central offense, and Mangle's been able to capitalize well on those calls.
Definitely. He seems to really know what is going on, and knowing how to communicate with his players has been crucial, especially those wide receivers who he's made a lot of those completions too.
Absolutely, as Turner Daniel hands the ball off to Browner, a flag called in the backfield as Browner picks up 8. We'll go to the refs and see what that's called. Most likely a holding penalty, and it is, as he immediately the ref motions that the flag is against North Oconee. Tough break here after a good first down run by Jermaine Browner.
Exactly what North Oconee does not need this second half. They are clearly not as strong in size and experience, so really being disciplined and really knowing the game is going to be what's going to help them throughout this second half, and that's something Coach Schuley mentioned when I talked to him before the game.
And so far, a rough first half for this North Oconee offense after ending on such a strong note. Tully's got to be a little upset with the play here as Turner Daniel gets set up in shotgun. Browner to his left and Malden to his right. 2 wide receivers also optioned out to his right as he motions for his receiver to come off to the left. Daniel takes the snap, scrambles out to the right, but it's not a way to get not able to get away this time as he's brought down for a sack in the backfield at their own 18-yard line.
Really, North Oconee's offense is just not looking strong coming out this second half. They've been notorious for having rough second halves. They have not scored in a second half this season so far. So seeing this is kind of continuing that trend. Hopefully they can break that trend tonight when they get back out there and really just make the plays that they need to make in order to score.
Absolutely, and it's about second and forever for North Oconee here. Or I'm sorry. Oh yeah, it is. After the holding penalty, it'll be second and 27. Turner Daniel back there by himself. Browner optioned out to the left. Daniel takes the snap and immediately runs up the middle on a QB blast play, but is crushed by two Clarke Central players after a 5-yard run. That'll bring up third and 22.
Clarke Central's defense is just answering every single play by North Oconee, really not giving North Oconee to gain yardage at all. That 5-yard play by Turner Daniel is just something that is pretty representative of what's going on for North Oconee's offense. They get a little, but they cannot get enough to overcome this Clarke Central defense.
Absolutely, Hadley, as you see Daniels trot back to the huddle. We'll see if Tooley has anything up his sleeve on this drive, or if he'll play it a little more conservative here, which it looks like he won't, as Daniel options out again by himself with 3 to his left and 2 receivers to his right. Daniel surveys the defense. He takes the snap. He steps up in the pocket and once again takes off up the middle. Breaks a tackle and then brought down by a host of Clarke Central defenders. Able to make it about 4th and 13. We'll see if Tooley brings out the punting team. And it looks like he will. For a second there, it almost looked like North Oconee was going to go for it, but the punting team will come on. Chapeau trots back onto the field what has to be about his 7th or 8th punting play of the day.
Definitely not the offensive drive North Oconee needs at this point in the game. Not what they want to see and not what Coach Tooley wants to see either.
A little bit of a high snap. Chapeau kicks it off. Sewell back to receive, not Zay Brown this time. He catches it in stride up the left sideline. He's sprinting up the sideline and pushed out of bounds around his own 20-yard line. Another great play by this Clarke Central special teams. 3 flags are thrown around where he went out of bounds. It looks to be a personal foul penalty on North Oconee on a late hit. We'll see what the refs have to say for sure, though.
Again, this is what we were talking about with North Oconee. Making these, being a disciplined football team is exactly what they need to be right now with the disadvantages they have, and getting called against them is not what they need in order to bring their momentum back after this failed 2 drives.
Absolutely, Hadley. The refs over there conversing. We'll see what the call is here in a second. Or we won't. Actually, it looks like I was wrong. The late hit penalty wasn't on North Oconee. It was on Clarke Central again. Clarke Central has been tripped up by penalties so much in this game, it has to be an area of concern for Perno. Even though the scoreboard's 38-14, they have not been able to stay away from any penalties. As Mangle once again lines up under center. A huge return by Sewell, negated by another penalty. Mangle hands it off to Sewell. It's about a 5-yard gain. That would make it 2nd and 5.
Sewell's had an amazing game so far. Just runs like that and runs that have been 40 and 50 yards have been something that he has shown out this game. Definitely a key player for Clarke Central's offense.
And Hadley, I don't know if it's just me, but the whole environment of this game after the first half has seemed to just be brought down a lot. North Oconee, I don't know if it's tiredness or just the score gap, but the environment in the stadium feels a lot less intense than it did in the first half, as Sewell bounces off a couple tacklers, runs over a North Oconee defender for a 1st down. That'll bring it up to North Oconee's 25-yard line.
It's definitely not just you. Clarke Central came out here, their fans and their team, with this spirit and this momentum and this enthusiasm that we did not see in the first half, despite their win, despite their higher scores over the North Oconee. But Clarke Central has came out and has kept their momentum going and has not let North Oconee score at all. They have shut them down on offense and have been brutal to them. on the defense.
And Jack Mangle lines up again in the single back formation. Mangle takes it, hands it off to his fullback, Nadarius Smith, for a 1-yard gain. That'll make it 2nd and 10. Clarke Central lines up here again in 2nd and 10. You'd have to think that a touchdown here would pretty much put this game out of reach as the clock is winding down. 45 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. Mangle play action, looks deep, but it's picked off by North Oconee in the end zone. Number 18 takes it and pushed out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
That's number 18, Kyle Scherer.
Scherer with a great read on Jack Mangle. Right when we were praising Jack Mangle on his decision-making, picked off the pass intended for number 81, Trajan Pinkney, in the end zone. A big play there by the North Oconee defense. And once again, you see this North Oconee fan base start to get a little bit into it, and their huge bands start to play.
North Oconee defense has made a lot of plays in order to keep the momentum up for North Oconee despite the low scores on the scoreboard.
And Turner Daniel trots back onto the field. A big momentum shift there. Right when we said that it was time to put the nail in the coffin, looks like North Oconee still has a little bit of life. As Turner Daniel hands it off to Browner. Browner bounces around in the backfield, but only can get 2-yard gain. That'll make it 2nd and 8.
You saw Browner there just weaving in and out of tackles, but eventually there was too many red jerseys, and they just overtook him on that play. But good attempt at a run by Jermaine Browner. We've seen a lot of him tonight.
And I believe that was the first turnover of the game. Although the game has been sloppy at times, not a whole lot of turnovers until that last interception by throw by Jack Mangle. That'll bring it to the end of the 3rd quarter. Your score: Clarke Central Gladiators 13, North Oconee Titans 14. But it'll be North Oconee's ball at their own 22 when we come back to action. During the break, let's throw it down to our field reporter, Teddy. Teddy, what do you have for us?
Hey guys, so North Oconee is alive again. It was looking a little bad for them at first, and the energy was a little low in the student section, the energy was low, but then Kyle Scherer, sophomore, number 18, just got that interception in the end zone, completely shifted the momentum. The North Oconee Titans are pumped up now, and they're ready to finish this game strong. It's a complete game changer down here, and you can really tell the attitudes have shifted. That's all I have. Back to you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you, Teddy. And like we were just talking about there, at the momentum shift on North Oconee side after a turnover like that has started to ignite the fan base. You hear the band going and the fans cheering, cheerleaders cheering as North Oconee is set to take the field again. It might be a little too late, though. We'll see what happens in store for this 4th quarter.
Yes, we're hoping. That was the first turnover of the game, like you mentioned earlier, and the first interception thrown by Jack Mangle of this game. Definitely not what we're used to seeing out of him so far, but a good game other than that so far. So we'll see how North Oconee uses this play to their advantage.
Absolutely, as Turner Daniels ready to kick this 4th quarter off, lining up underneath center. Browner in the backfield for North Oconee. Chase Trent optioned out to his right. We'll see what North Oconee has to throw at Clarke Central here to start the game. Daniel, play action, rolls left, throws across his body, but is hit. The pass is incomplete. That'll be 2nd and 10.
It was a fake handoff to Jermaine Browner, but followed by an incomplete pass. So not what we were expecting, but Coach Tooley has definitely surprised us with his offensive calls so far.
Excuse me, that'll bring up 3rd and 8. A little bit of miscalculation on my part. Sorry about that, folks. As Turner Daniel trots back on the field for 3rd down, and we'll see what they have here for this Clarke Central defense. Daniel, ready for the snap, takes it, drops back. A draw play to Browner up the middle. A big run by Browner. It looks like he got enough to get the 1st down all the way up to their own 32-yard line. That'll bring up 1st and 10 for North Oconee. Right when it looked like Clarke Central was going to end them, once again, North Oconee just comes back to life.
We have definitely seen North Oconee take advantage of Clarke Central getting comfortable after they come off a big scoring run, and a good stop on defense. But this interception has changed the momentum of the game, and I'm excited to see how North Oconee plays off of it.
Absolutely, as you see Daniel back out on the field. Daniel with a really impressive game. We talked to Tooley earlier, Coach Tooley, in the beginning of the game, and he really just wants to continue to build and to give these young guys experience. As you stated, a lot of sophomores and freshmen playing for this North Oconee team. Do you think this has been a good outing for North Oconee so far in the year after a disappointing start to the season?
I think it definitely has. North Oconee came into this game knowing that Clarke Central was the favorite, knowing that they were coming off a 3-streak loss, but they've came up and they have not played the worst game they've played this season. It's definitely exciting to see them getting more comfortable and playing more as a team. And the crowd starting to come to life as Daniel lines up in the shotgun. Daniel takes the snap, scrambles to his right, sees Browner, and it's called a catch. That'll be a 3-yard gain, a completion for Turner Daniel to Jermaine Browner. Browner gets up and stretches out his leg a little bit. That would be quite the scare for North Oconee. And we would not want to see Jermaine Browner leave the field right now after his many yards rushing and just completed passes. Him and Chase Trent have been crucial offensive players for North Oconee, number 11, and really just trying to make plays and get the ball down the field. Absolutely, as the North Oconee offense gets ready to take the snap once again. And it looks like that pass was actually called incomplete, as it looks like it's 2nd and 10 again. Sorry, folks. As Daniel drops back in the pocket, sees Browner over the middle again, but once again incomplete. Browner looking for a flag, but gets none. That'll bring 3rd and 10. Definitely, we're going to hopefully see North Oconee make a play here on the 3rd down for this 3rd down conversion. We're going to see how how much of this momentum they can keep up after the interception. And you see number 13 for Clarke Central, Jalen Bonner, limp off the field. We'll see if we have any more information on that, but rough outing right there for Jalen Bonner, the defensive back for Clarke Central. Turner Daniel back by himself, takes the snap a little bit low, scrambles in the pocket, and just a gang of Clarke Central tacklers there to meet him. That'll make it 4th and 15, and it looks like that North Oconee will punt. Turner Daniels had a good amount of time to find a receiver open, but he just could not seem to find one. He looks like he was about to make the decision to start running and just got tackled by a group of red jerseys in that play. And although North Oconee has looked alive, has refused to go away in this game, the Clarke Central defense still overwhelming athleticism, just enough to keep this game far, far apart. As the punt by Dave Chapeau is a blooper that goes out of bounds around the Clarke Central 38-yard line. Definitely, we're going to see the Clarke Central offense come back on the field. Really just expecting to see a strong drive out of them. They seem to have got their momentum back after the defense. Absolutely, as Mangle trots back out onto the field. Do you have the halftime stats? Mangle lines up in the single back formation. What was the completion for Clarke Central at halftime? As Mangle hands the ball off to Mike Walker for what seems to be an 8-yard gain. What was it? Okay. Mangle, the last 2 possessions of this game after starting the first half off 9 for 13, has looked a little rough here in the second half with 2 incompletions on the first drive and then an interception. It'll be interesting to see if Perno tries to get him a little bit more play here, if they rely on the running game. Yeah, it's definitely exciting to see after coming off that interception in the last drive. All right, and Mangle back there in the shotgun. Throws another screen pass to his right to Smothers. Smothers makes a couple tackles miss, cuts to the midfield, crosses the 50-yard line down to the North Oconee 49. That'll be a 1st down for Clarke Central. Good momentum by Clarke Central coming into this drive. Smothers has been a key player throughout this game, and it's exciting to see him continue on in his success for this team. Oh, and we have an injury down there on the field. It looks like number 31 for North Oconee
Grant Fordham is down clutching his leg. It does not look good as you see a couple trainers come out on the field. You hate to see that no matter who's playing. And that is a rough outing there for North Oconee. Definitely not something they want to see.
It looks like he just may be stretching out his leg. Hopefully it's nothing too serious and he can get back on the field and start playing again.
Fordham, a junior, one of the older souls on the defense. They start 7 sophomores. That's a tough outing for him. We'll see if he's okay. Here in a second, 9 minutes and 36 seconds left here in the fourth quarter from Brian Henderson Stadium. Your score, Clarke Central 38, North Oconee Titans 14. As you see the North Oconee sideline taking a knee for their fallen player.
There he goes. He's walking off the field. We're excited to see him back on his feet.
Always an encouraging sign. Hopefully it's just a cramp for Fordham as the stadium shows good sportsmanship and there's claps all around. The North Oconee defense and Clarke Central offense trots back out on the field. It'll be 1st and 10 from the North Oconee 48-yard line. Mangle directing the offense, lines up under center. Wide receiver comes across to the left. Flag called. False start on Clarke Central. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. That'll bring it 1st and 15.
There we see Clarke Central getting those penalties again, like we talked with the football operations earlier, just about how their biggest opponent was themselves. We've definitely seen that in the penalties against Clarke Central the second half.
And Hadley, even though the scoreboard shows a 38-14 outing right now for Clarke Central in their favor, what do you think that Perno is happy so far with the play of Clarke Central, or no?
I think he's definitely been excited about some parts. Definitely had some rough plays.
Excuse me, Hadley has a run by Mike Walker, a huge run to the left side, all the way down. He was pushed out of bounds at the 2-yard line, almost a touchdown, but not quite. As the Clarke Central running game is definitely something David Perno has to be happy about, as that's another big play by his running backs. Mike Walker and Sewell have just dominated this defense of North Oconee so far. Pushed out of bounds at the 2-yard line there, Hadley. It seemed like the North Oconee defense just played a little bit of Olay defense there.
Yes, Mike Walker, another key player for Clarke Central. We've seen a great running game by them this game.
And you see the handoff to Mike Walker as the coach tries to reward the young fella for his huge gain and get him the touchdown. But it looks like the refs will say that he doesn't have enough, and then it'll be 2nd and goal, from the 1-yard line.
They gave the ball back to Walker on that play, just hoping he would score after his big run.
Absolutely. And as a running back, getting a huge gain like that and getting pushed out at the one's a little bit deflating, especially not being able to get that touchdown. But you see here that Walker was actually brought off the field as Mango lines up under center at the 1. He hands it off, but is immediately stuffed by the North Oconee defense.
It's a big stop by North Oconee.
That was Mike Walker, actually. He was lined up at the fullback position and was stuffed, so they tried to get him the touchdown again. Once again stuffed. That'll bring up 3rd and goal, from their 1-yard line.
Interesting to see if they play Walker again on this play or they hand it off to a different running back, or whatever play they take for this one.
Absolutely, and after a long run like that, you have to be a little bit gassed in the legs, but Walker's still on the field, directly behind Mangle. Mangle does once again hand it off to Walker, and 3rd time's the charm as Walker scores the touchdown. Another touchdown for the Clarke Central Gladiators. After what was a mostly exciting first half, this game has really gotten out of hand for North Oconee. That makes the score 44-14. Downs trots back on the field for yet another field goal kick. North Oconee almost got to that one, but not in time as he puts it through the uprights yet again. Downs having a great night, and it looks to be like he'll have a great career. A kicker this good in high school football is rare to find.
I know he's made plenty of big plays this game, and also in previous games, a 49-yard football record for high record for this year, and he's made other small 25 and 26 yards against Morgan County throughout his. Oh, I'm sorry. He's made a 49-yard field goal against Gainesville, I think. Winder Barrow.
Either way, Hadley, impressive for a high school kid to be able to kick a 49-yard field goal, and tonight is no exception. He's looked very impressive. His leg's probably feeling a little bit tired or sore, though, by now as he's ready to kick it off yet again. So a lot of action for him tonight. Yeah. And like we've stated numerous times, Clarke Central's rushing game just been way too overwhelming for this North Oconee defense, racking up a total of 375 rushing yards so far tonight. Most of that being from the brunt of Jonathan Sewell and Mike Walker as Downs gets ready to kick off again. Browner looks to receive at the 10-yard line, comes up behind some blockers, but only gets to about the 24-yard line. 1st and 10 for North Oconee.
All right, it's exciting to see what North Oconee's offense is going to do. They've pretty much probably have a very defeated mindset at this point, the score being 45-14 in Clarke Central's favor. I wonder how Coach Schuley is going to just coach them throughout this next drive, see if he's going to give them some pep, give them some momentum, give them anything to just finish out this game strong.
Absolutely, Hadley. And you see Schuley and a bunch of coaches on his coaching staff over there talking with the offense, probably restating what you just said. Let's not give up and let's still continue to build on the confidence so far in this game. But it looks like North Oconee's brought in a new quarterback, Caleb Schur, in at quarterback number 3. As Browner bounces out to the outside, but is immediately brought down on a face mask penalty, a blatant face mask penalty on Clarke Central. Another big penalty by this Clarke Central defense. Not a great night for them in that respect.
Yeah, Clarke Central's getting a little sloppy as the score rises, so does their sloppiness. We definitely need to keep them focused on being a disciplined team despite the fact that they have a 39-point lead or 29-point lead so far. 31.
Absolutely right, Hadley. And it looks like number 3, Caleb Schur, will trot back out to lead the offense. It looks like Turner Daniel, after an impressive night for him, will be done for the night, possibly, and they'll let Schur get a little bit of time here. He's also a sophomore, so getting him a little bit more playing experience certainly doesn't hurt with the score out of reach to make any real threat at winning this ballgame. Schur scrambles way back to the right of the pocket and just throws it out of bounds as he's chased by Clarke Central defenders out of bounds.
Like you said, Schur is a sophomore, and this young offense and young defense of North Oconee has been vital as Clarke Central dominates them this game.
It'll be 2nd and 10 from their own 35-yard line. North Oconee just looking for a little bit of a bright spot here to end on some moral stability at the end of this game. Schur gets the snap, scrambles out left, looks to throw and lobs a nice little pass over.
That was number 15.
Number 15, Garrett Paxson, found the big fella down the sideline. A good-looking throw by Schur. Pushed out of bounds around the 50-yard line.
And that's going to be a first down for North Oconee, and also the first down for quarterback Caleb Schur.
Absolutely. It's a little bit of a confidence boost for him as he gets a little playing time. Tooley has to be happy with his play from his offense so far tonight. I know it doesn't show on the scoreboard, but some big steps taken by these young players.
Definitely a hard fight put up by North Oconee.
Schur once again lines up underneath center. He takes the snap and is immediately met by Clarke Central players as he hands it off to Browner, and what was a dangerous handoff. Clarke Central there to meet Browner as well. There'll be a big loss on the game, about a 5-yard one. That'll make it 2nd and 15.
Now, Schur there's not one of their biggest players, so he handed off the ball and got rid of it before he got taken down by that tackle by the Clarke Central defense.
Absolutely. With 6 minutes left and 40 seconds left. There'll be Clarke Central 45, North Oconee 14 on the homecoming night for Clarke Central. They've been able to make quick work of this North Oconee team. As Sure sets set in the shotgun. Sure, alone in the backfield, scrambles out to his right, throws it across to Browner. A good throw by Sure, and a big completion as he's pushed out of bounds around the Clarke Central 34-yard line. Sure has looked good on those scrambling throws.
Definitely. He's coming out there and he's leading his offense in some pretty good first down conversions, and he's definitely been making some good passes. That was a pretty pass by him just now, so it's exciting to see what this young quarterback is going to have in store with him this throughout this game and throughout his career.
Absolutely, and after a great game played by Turner Daniel, it's encouraging to see Sure pushing a little bit here for more playing time as he throws it out to the left. So far, it looks like Sure seems to be quite almost a superior passer to Daniel. Daniel able to make plays a little bit more with his legs, but Sure another completion for a first down right there on that play.
Exactly. That was, again, North Oconee's number 16, Fick, who completed that pass, who caught that pass by Sure. And the Oconee offense just really seems to be moving and really getting the ball down the field on this play.
Absolutely. That face mask penalty down here in North Oconee's own end by Clarke Central seems to have given them life. Right as I say that, Sure fumbles the snap, picked up by Clarke Central. That's going to be the second turnover of the game. And after what looked like a really promising drive, North Oconee will give up the ball, and Clarke Central will take over on their own 25-yard line.
And that's just depressing for the North Oconee offense after making it down the field that much, and really, especially for Caleb Sure after those two really good passes, just coming out there and then having a mistake like a fumble just to end his drive is not what the North Oconee offense wanted to see.
Absolutely, Hadley. And you see Clarke Central getting set. Certainly ready to take some snaps here and probably just run the ball a few times as a new quarterback's in for Clarke Central and a new running back that we haven't seen before. The new quarterback for Clarke Central, number 17, Andrew Porter, a sophomore for Clarke Central.
It's going to be a good experience for the young players to get out here and play against a real team and understand the communication that it takes to be a leader of the team at the quarterback position.
Absolutely, Hadley. That run for 5 yards, that'll bring up 2nd and 5 for Clarke Central at their own 30-yard line. Porter underneath shotgun. Or I'm sorry, underneath the center. A flag immediately called. Looks like it'll be false start on the offense. Yet another penalty for this Clarke Central team. That seems to have been a theme for them tonight.
Definitely has. North Oconee's had a few penalties, but not up to the amount that Clarke Central has. But before, when we were talking to some of the coaching staff for Clarke Central, they mentioned that that they really did need to focus on being a very disciplined team and really trying to avoid those penalties and avoid those flags. And although they've scored high, they have not been that successful in avoiding penalties.
Absolutely. And Porter getting ready again under center. It'll be 2nd and 10 after the false start penalty. He pitches it out left to the running back. He makes a cut up, and it looks like he's got enough for the first down after an impressive pitch to the left. The run by number 28, Jarvis Howell, the junior. All right, Clarke Central lining up underneath center. Andrew Porter, 1st and 10 for them. Hands it off to number 28, Jarvis Howell again for pretty much no gain. That'll be 2nd and 10.
A good stop by the North Oconee defense. It's definitely hard for them to stay motivated out there, but it seems they're still giving forth their best effort to stop this Clarke Central offense.
Absolutely, Hadley. That'll make it 2nd and 10, which is pretty much just the afterthoughts of this game as the clock winds down. The score, Clarke Central 45, North Oconee 14. Porter looks back, ready to take the snap. Hands it off to the fullback, who's met again by a host of North Oconee tacklers. That'll make it 3rd and 9 after what appears to be about no gain again.
And there we go again, another good stop by North Oconee defense. Despite the fact that they are down by 31 points, it's exciting to see that they are not giving up and they are still putting up a fight to stop Clarke Central from really moving that ball down the field any more than it already has tonight.
Absolutely, Hadley. 3rd and 8 here in Death Valley. You see the fans starting to trickle out already on the home side as this one's all but over. A few Loyals have stayed here on homecoming night. Porter underneath the center. 3rd and 8 from their own 37-yard line. Porter takes the snap. Once again, hands it off to the fullback, who's met by pretty much the whole North Oconee defense. That'll make it 4th down, and North Oconee will get one more shot to put some points up on the board and go home on a high note.
I think there was only 2 or 3 North Oconee defense players who were not in on that tackle, so the whole team is really fighting right now. Their defense is really trying to carry the team and just end on a good note after being down for over 30 points.
And the electrifying Jermaine Browner trots out on the field to take the kick. Clarke Central back to punt. Browner calls for a fair catch and catches it cleanly. With 1 minute and 46 seconds left, North Oconee will have one more chance to score, but I don't think it'll matter much.
Now I think by this point it's pretty clear what the game is going to end, but hopefully North Oconee can go out there, play strong, at least learn from this game and learn the experiences they've had playing a strong defense and playing a strong running team, and just really go out there and end on a good note, especially for those seniors and especially for those people that are playing in their last season for North Oconee football.
Absolutely, Hadley. You see Sure trot back out on the field. Looks like he'll finish this game up for North Oconee. They'll let Turner Daniel get the rest of the night off. Sure takes the ball, hands it off to his fullback, which gets a nice gain, I think enough for a 1st down. An impressive run out to the North Oconee 38-yard line. Sure goes over to meet with the coach and get the next play.
That was a good run. We always see North Oconee come off really strong after a score by Clarke Central, but it seems Clarke Central defense just builds up as the drive goes on and really is able to stop North Oconee. So I'm excited to see if North Oconee presses through and is able to defeat this defense one last time.
Sure lines up in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his left and 1 to his right. Takes the snap, looks left, throws deep, and it's tipped by number 16, Micah Feek, excuse me, the target on that play. After the Clarke Central D-back mistimed the jump, it looked like Feek would have a big gain for sure, but wasn't so. And that'll bring it to 2nd and 10 from their own 39-yard line.
A good pass by Sure. Definitely a young quarterback, not much experience behind him, but he's definitely shown some good strength and good talent in this passing game for sure since he started playing in this last part of the game.
Absolutely. Definitely some bright spots for North Oconee as they continue to grow and move into their potential tonight. Flag on the play before the snap. The ref's going over to call. And it looks like he's motioning for the coaches to stay on the sideline. The penalty will once again be on Clarke Central. Not quite sure there what the call is, but that'll make it 2nd and 5. I think it's just a sideline and it's a distraction, and that'll bring 2nd and 5. Definitely some undisciplined football tonight by this Clarke Central team.
Yes, strong team, but they really are going to have to work throughout this season of becoming more disciplined and getting better communication as they continue on their season.
Excuse me, there's no flag on the play. It was simply a warning for the coaches to stay on the sideline. As Sure greatly overthrows Jermaine Browner over the middle, but the Clarke Central D-back lets the ball hit him in the chest and fall to the ground, what looked to be a sure interception. That'll make it 3rd and 10.
Yeah, that pass was directly thrown toward number 20, Austin Harris, but just happened to slip right out of his hands and never really got a good wrap around it. Lucky for sure, not wanting to throw an interception with a minute left in this blowout for Clarke Central.
Absolutely, a minute 7 left on the clock here. Sure is going to be in the shotgun right here for this 3rd and 10 play. He's got 2 wide receivers out to his left as the Clarke Central defense jumps. Another penalty, and Perno at this point has to be furious. He can afford to be this undisciplined against a team like North Oconee, but he'll have to shore that up going into region play.
Definitely, they're coming off of 2 straight losses, and they haven't been in their home stadium since their season opener with Winder Barrows. So this discipline is something they're really going to have to work on.
And Sure takes the snap, scrambles out to his right, and finds number 11, Chase Trent. You haven't heard his name much, one of the captains for this North Oconee team, but he gets the ball, and that makes it 4th and 1.
Good communication between Sure and Trent, just trying to make the play, trying to get the ball down the field. Doesn't look like they definitely didn't get that first down, but they're going for it.
It'll be 4th and 1 with a minute and 1 second left. Sure will line up under the center. Browner in the backfield. Sure hands the ball off to Browner, but he's immediately met. Browner spins away and is able to muster about an 8-yard gain. Browner just continuing to be the sole light on this North Oconee offense. That'll be 1st and 10 for him.
Definitely, Browner does not let his size hinder him to get through this Clarke Central defense. He is only around 5'4", as we stated earlier, but he has been a key player in North Oconee's offense. One of their players that has just been consistent in making plays and really has just ran the ball.
And after that run, North Oconee will look to call a timeout and see if they can just get a little bit more work here for Sure in the offense with 53 seconds left to play in the 4th.
I know Coach Tooley wants to score. They haven't scored in the second half yet, and this is something that would just really help their team, probably give them a little more motivation as they go into practice next week.
Absolutely, and as for the Clarke Central defense here, they just have to be able to make sure that they stay disciplined with the flag penalties and really let that athleticism go to work.
Yes, Clarke Central's biggest opponent has been themselves in this final half for sure.
Sure will line up in the shotgun. Next to number 21, the fullback Turner Hargrave. 2 receivers out to his left, one of them Jermaine Browner. As Sure scrambles to his left and looks for Browner. The pass falls incomplete. That'll make it 2nd and 10 with 47 seconds left from the from the Clarke Central 45-yard line.
Looked like for a second there could have even been an interception. Sure is just kind of getting knocked off his game a bit with this constant pounding by the Clarke Central defense, but hopefully he keeps his head straight and really just finishes out the rest of this game strong.
Absolutely, Hadley. Sure back once again in the shotgun. It looks like North Oconee is going to ride this one out and see what Sure is made of here, just to get him some reps. Sure steps up in the pocket and makes a deep throw to, looks like it was intended for Jermaine Browner, but the closest players were 3 Clarke Central defenders as that one falls incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Definitely, you can tell Sure is just getting a little off his game now. Browner was near there, but they were, like you said, 3 Clarke Central players that were much closer than Browner was and had a much better chance of catching that. Luckily, it went incomplete, and Sure didn't have to add an interception to his stats at the end of this game.
Absolutely. That last incompletion will bring up 3rd and 10. The stadium pretty quiet now for the most part as they're ready to get home before it's too late. Sure back in the shotgun. Looks like Tooley's changing the play on the sideline. Sure options Jermaine Browner off to the right. He gets the snap, scrambles right, throws the ball out of bounds as he's chased out by a host of Clarke Central defenders.
Definitely. Sure just does not have the size to take on those defenders, so getting the ball out of his hands is something he's very focused on. And you can really tell he's done a good job passing so far, but just been a little sloppy and unfocused these past few plays.
And that'll make it 4th and 10. And what could be the last offensive play for North Oconee so far for this game. Sure trots back out on the field for one more play. Jermaine Browner will go out to his left. Fika will also go out to the left. Chase Trent to the right. Hargrave as the fullback. Sure drops back, steps up, and finds Browner. Browner will get the first down and much, much more as he gets down to the 20-yard line. It looks like the Clarke Central defense has all but given up here in the 4th quarter as it lets Browner just advance into the red zone.
And Browner definitely looks exhausted. He's been playing this whole game. He's been giving it his all this whole game. And you can tell just the way he's walking. He is tired, and he is probably ready for this 26 seconds to get off the clock, although I know he wants to score and really help his team end on a good note.
And despite being tired, it doesn't stop him from making people miss, as the player has been nothing short of electrifying for this North Oconee offense. Clarke Central defense just struggling to take him down as North Oconee calls yet another timeout with 26 seconds left in this game. Tooley probably trying to tune up the offense a little bit for next week's matchup.
Definitely. At this point, what you do with your team is you just really try to get them out there and learn from this experience and take this experience and use this as practice time for next week.
Clarke Central's defense trots back onto the field. Sure trots back onto the field, and the North Oconee offense has a new set of downs with 26 seconds left to play. Jermaine Browner optioned out to the right. Mike Fika optioned out way to the right, and Chase Trent to his left. Sure takes the snap and scrambles to the right, throws across his body, looks for Browner. Browner takes out the ref's legs. Ball falls incomplete. That'll be 2nd and 10 for North Oconee at their own 20-yard line with 19 seconds left to play.
The ref on the ground still calling that pass incomplete, fighting to the end.
And you see the Clarke Central defense pretty much just ready for this one to end. And I think the fan base would agree.
Definitely there is not as many people as there were at the beginning of the second half. I think they realized that Clarke Central definitely had this game in their reach. And
Sure back in the shotgun. He takes the snap and scrambles left. Throws across his body to a wide open Chase Trent, but misses him as the ball falls incomplete to the ground.
Pass was just a bit short by Sure, but they still have 2 more tries really and 15 more seconds to get some more points on the board and score for their first time in the second half since their season start.
Absolutely, as Sure trots out once again right here, trying to get a little bit end on a high note for this North Oconee offense. Browner options out to the right, Chase Trent to the left. Sure takes the snap, steps up in the pocket, looks to the right, but is way overthrows his defender, but a flag is called. It looks like, as the North Oconee fans cheer, that it'll be a pass interference call with 10 seconds left. We'll go down the refs to confirm. And the pass interference call is confirmed. That'll make it 1st and 10 on the Clarke Central 10-yard line with 10 seconds to go. Lots of 10s going on here as Sure takes the field. Back in the shotgun once again. Sure takes the snap and looks left. It's complete. The touchdown is called, but the ball was stripped from Chase Trent's hands as he crossed the goal line. But the touchdown will stand. Sure, getting a touchdown pass here with 6 seconds left to play. An encouraging sight from the sophomore. That'll make the score 45-20.
Definitely, the North Oconee offense has doubled their average this game. Although not looking too strong compared to their past, this has been a very good offensive game for them.
Absolutely, and Bowler comes on to kick the field goal. That one is good. That'll make the score 45-21. More confetti being shot from this North Oconee fan base as Sure trots off the field with a touchdown throw. There'll be 6 seconds left in this game during the kickoff, and it looks like this one's all but over as Clarke Central set to receive.
Definitely, I'm just glad right there, and I know North Oconee and Coach Tooley are glad too that they got some more points on the board, scored for their first time in the second half since the season start. Just really gaining from this experience and really just understanding that the offense has to fight no matter what, and Coach Tooley made that a big proponent that despite the fact that they were coming in this game 0-3, that they had to come in this game like they were 0-0, and I definitely think they've played that last drive like they were 0-0.
Absolutely, sure looked impressive. The Clarke Central defense a little bit asleep there as they knew this one was out of reach. Not much intensity from that side of the field, but their offensive dominating the game thus far, they pretty much earned it.
Definitely, there's been so many key players on Clarke Central's offense that we have just been really highlighting. Jonathan Sewell has been a huge one for us, and the quarterback Jack Mangle has been definitely also a key player in their offense and a key player throughout their season. And it's exciting to see what Clarke Central does as they leave this game 2-2.
And it looks like Bowler set to tee off what could be the final play of this game. A squib kick by Bowler. Clarke Central takes it out. And it looks like he breaks free up the right sideline. A spin move, stays in bounds, but is tackled. A big gain and return by Clarke Central for nothing. That will do it, folks. The score, Clarke Central 45, North Oconee 21. Your Clarke Central Gladiators win on homecoming night. Hadley, what are some of the key of the games that propelled Clarke Central to that win?
Well, as you saw and as everyone else saw, Clarke Central's running game was crazy. They rushed for over 350 yards this game immensely. They had key players. Jonathan Sewell was insane. We had a great game by Jack Mangle, the quarterback of the Clarke Central, and North Oconee just can't keep up with their size and their experience. They are just too young and not big enough to compete with this strong offense.
And despite a wide margin on the scoreboard, North Oconee has a few things a few bright spots in their offense. They ran for 206 total rushing yards on the night, and they were 14 for 28 passing, and they definitely had some good notes from Turner Daniel. Had some good spots from Turner Daniel and Caleb Scher. But Clarke Central's offense was the truly electrifying one. Mango 11 for 17 on the night. He did throw one interception, but the 424 rushing yards by Clarke Central was definitely something Perno can hang his hat on going forward.
Definitely. 386 rushing yards. That is a number that is high, especially, or 424, as even higher than I originally thought. Clarke Central has been an amazing running game for this game. They've come off a two-game losing streak, and this is something that's really going to pick up their spirits, especially on a night such as homecoming. Really something for them to just be excited about, and you can see the players and the fans just were really into it, especially the start of the second half, and as Clarke Central started rallying up those points.
All right, Hadley, and we're going to throw it down to our sideline reporter, Teddy. She has an interview with the winning ball coach. Teddy, what do you got for us?
Here with head coach of the Clarke Central Gladiators, David Pierno, former UGA baseball coach. And how nice was it to see your team put up more than 40 points up on the board tonight?
Yeah, we needed that offensively. We didn't play very well defensively, and that was frustrating. But we played well the second half. We had our JV in that last drive, so all in all, it was really good for our offense. We needed to get going.
Your offense was on fire tonight. It looked pretty explosive. Your quarterback looked comfortable moving the ball down the field. What do you think was the key to getting your offense to be so dominant tonight?
Well, I think Sewell opened it up early, our running back, with 2 big plays and got everybody relaxed. And then we made some good catches on the sideline, some big third down conversions, and Jack was in control at the quarterback spot. And the offensive line did a bit better job than they have been.
Your team was especially fired up tonight. Do you think that's because it was a homecoming game or the first home game in 3 weeks, or did you tell them anything specific before the game?
No, we had the open week, so we got everybody back. For the most part, we were healthy. That was the first thing. And then, we've had 2 tough games on the road. And, yeah, we haven't played here in a month, and we were pretty good when we finished that game. And then last couple weeks prior, we haven't played so well. So it was good to get back going and get back home.
And last thing, what do you think your team can improve on for the future and your goal towards the playoffs for the first time in 2 years?
We got a lot to improve on, and those 15-yard penalties are killing us. They killed 2 drives and made things difficult for us. So we're going to clean that up and get ready for our city championship next weekend.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.
Okay, thank you, Teddy, for that interview with the head ball coach. Perno echoing a lot of the sentiments here in the booth that we had. A lot of penalties on his team. He'll look to improve on next week against rivalry week for Clarke Central against the Cedar Shoals Jaguars. Always a big one there, folks. And North Oconee will look to capitalize on their potential and growth as they'll go and play the Winder Barrow Bulldogs. Winder Barrow also struggling this year, so that should be a good one for North Oconee to continue to improve on. But as for me, Tyler Donaldson and my partner, Hadley, that's all for us tonight. Thanks for joining us here at Brian Henderson Stadium for The Call. Everyone have a good night.